大家不要乱丢垃圾，做好垃圾分类投放，保持场馆内的整洁。请勿在场馆内吸烟，做文明观众。感谢您的配合。
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to kindly remind you to take a seat according to the information on the TV. During the match, please avoid walking around extending carriers. Tonight is about others' viewing experience. No flash video will be and photography allowed. Maintain silence till the players are serving, and please switch all mobile phones and audible devices to silent mode. Let's keep the line clean. No littering or smoking in the venue. Thank you for your cooperation.
谢谢各位观众朋友们，欢迎我们来到2025年TotalEnergies BWF 世界羽毛球混合团体锦标赛现场，欢迎各位！现在来到我们的互动时间，一会儿我们的屏幕上将会出现各种各样的表情，而我们的摄像机会捕捉到我们的幸运观众。我们的幸运观众只要模仿成功我们的表情，就可以获得由世界羽联和全球发展合作伙伴汇丰银行提供的定制户外羽球 Xiamen 为羽毛球带来全新体验，让任何人能够随时随地的享受羽毛球，与你一起构建新可能。下面找到我们的第一位。这位戴眼镜身穿黑色衣服的小姐姐，还有这位身穿白色衣服的小哥哥，请看一下我们的大屏幕，模仿一下我们屏幕当中的动作，向我们的屏幕招招手。好的，非常棒，完成了我们的挑战。赶紧用手机拍照记录一下，我们去寻找下一位观众。这位身穿深蓝色衣服的帅哥，看一下我们的大屏幕，看看你的表情会是什么呢？来模仿一下，非常的帅气啊！也是要用手机拍照记录一下。同学们都可以获得我们汇丰银行提供的户外羽球。我们继续下一位。这位身穿黑色衣服的可以模仿一下我们屏幕当中的动作。非常的强壮，露出自己的 muscle， 非常的有力量。好的，我们继续，下一位会是谁呢？两位姐姐，请看一下我们的屏幕打打招呼，看看你们的表情会是什么？来模仿一下，哇，非常的像，非常的棒。我们继续，最后一位，欢呼声在哪里？非常幸运，我们最后一位幸运
This is the very modern side of Xiamen city in southeastern China, I should say, in Fujian province, one of the major cities in this part of the country, and it's got a state-of-the-art sports venue, the Xiamen Fenghuang Olympic Sports Center. Within that is the Gymnasium as well, which is playing host to the TotalEnergies BWF Sudirman Cup Finals 2025. This is effectively the mixed team World Championships, and they're fighting for this 80 centimeter 22 carat gold trophy. The idea thought of by Dick Sudirman. It first started in 1989, the 19th edition of this prestigious tournament. We're midway through the group stages at the moment, which are split into two sessions, 9:30, and about to have session 2 here at 5 p.m. local time. Friday will be the quarterfinals, Saturday we'll see the semis, and it all ends on Sunday when we have the grand final. Over here on court 2, we've had plenty of action. Remember that it's 16 teams divided into 4 groups of 4. Our attentions this evening will firmly be on Group D. They're the only group left yet to complete their second round of matches. Earlier here on court 2, a Group C match with Malaysia predictably beating Australia, though Australians will be delighted that they took a point in the women's doubles. It'll be a similar sort of David versus Goliath clash here between England and Denmark. Team Denmark are perennial giants, really, on this stage, though they are without 2 giants in particular, though, we should say, in Victor Axelsen and Mia Blichfeldt, the men's and women's singles flag bearers effectively, but they still have a very strong side. 17 appearances. They have finished runners-up twice, 99 and 2011.
Denmark!
Only twice have they failed to get out of the group stages, 2007 and 2009. 2007 was a good year for this team. England, the only time they've got out of the group stages. They got all the way to the semi-finals, but really is about youth and exposure and development for Team England. They have a big task at hand if they want to try and upset the apple cart here. It is not going to be easy at all. These two countries have faced off a number of times.
What team? England!
And it will not surprise you to hear that England have won only once in the 7 meetings, and that was the last time they met in 2019. More on that later on. Let's have a look at the matchups here between these two countries. We start with mixed doubles, and the newly crowned European champions Jesper Toft and Emilia Mæland will play Callum Hemming and Estelle van Leeuwen, who won the Dutch and Irish Opens last year. In men's singles, Magnus Johannesson, he was a runner-up at the 2023 Orneo Masters. He plays Harry Huang, who was part of England's recent bronze medal winning team at the European Mixed Team Championships. Lena Højmark-Gersfeldt is leading the line for the women's singles in Denmark today. She is also a newly minted European champion. Now she'll play the enigmatic Nguyen Nan, also known as Kirby. She returns to the fold. She just recently played at the Euros, the Mixed Team Championships there. Men's doubles, we'll see the 2024 World Tour Finals winners. Kim Astrup and Anders Skaarup Rasmussen playing Rory Easton and Alex Green. They were finalists at the Polish Open earlier this year. And finally, women's doubles, it's a scratch pairing. Alexandra Boye and Lena Kristoffersen, neither one of them plays women's doubles. Lena Kristoffersen is obviously a singles player. Well, they're teaming up here against Abigail Harrison and Annie Lado, who won the Iceland International back in 2023. That's going to be an interesting one to watch. First up, though, we turn our attentions to mixed doubles. Jesper Toft and Emilia Mæland versus Callum Hemming and Estelle van Leeuwen. As the players make their way towards court 2, let me bring in my co-commentator, multi-medalist Bobby Griffin, who was with me a couple days ago when we watched England being taken apart by Indonesia. There were some promising signs there, Bobby, particularly in sort of the first game where England were playing on, or the second game when they're playing on the preferred end. What do you think today?
It's going to be another similar battle, really. It's such a strong nation, Denmark. Between Denmark and France, they're really leading the way for European badminton of late, and despite the absence of both Victor Axelsen and Mia Blichfeldt, they've still got a really, really strong team. Even that women's doubles with Lena Christoffersen, the singles player that you mentioned, and Alex Boyer, who doesn't tend to play a lot of women's doubles these days.
Yeah.
She has been a top 30 player in women's doubles before. They're going to prove a really difficult test for this English side, who are very, very young. The average age throughout the 10 players, I think, here for England is about 22.
Yeah.
It is very much a development tournament for these young players, but I'll let you take this one, the head-to-head.
So this is one of the few where they've actually met before.
As well, I have red and black.
2-0 to the Danish pair, and they only just met very recently at the European Championships, and you were actually commentating on that one.
Yeah, I was.
Emily will serve.
Callum and Estelle have been ever improving, and they've got so much promise. We saw it the other night against Indonesia. They were so unlucky not to come through that match. They took it to a former top 10 pair in the world, Rivaldi and Mentari, against Indonesia the other night. They were 18-14 up in the third, if anyone hasn't seen it. They kind of threw it away, if I have to be honest, which is hard for me to say. You know, they're friends of mine, work with the team quite a lot myself. It was a difficult watch, but they really took it to Toft and Mayland at the Euros as well, and this one's not going to be straightforward. This is the one match where I think England's got some promise.
So we're looking at Jesper Toft here first, who is 26. He's a massive man at 2 meters, may well be the tallest man here at the Sudirman Cup. 7th in the world. They're playing at their highest ever ranking. They are the new European champions, I mentioned earlier. Emilia Melund, his partner, and on the World Tour, they have won. She's 24, by the way. Yeah, they have won the All Masters Super 300 earlier this year. They've won 3 titles together. Callum Hemming here for Team England, who is 25 years of age, from Luton, his birthplace, playing at their highest ranking as well, of 28. Haven't yet to win on the HSBC BWF World Tour. They have won a fair bit. He's won a fair bit on the International Challenge Series level. Irish Open with Estelle van Leeuwen, who's 20, from Milton Keynes, 166 centimeters tall. Partners on and off the court.
Ready to play.
But, yeah, having not won that match when it was within their grasp of at least getting a point, and the first whitewash of England since 1993, that would have stung them, and that would have hurt.
Yeah, absolutely would. Take a look at our chair umpire, Atif Johori, for this one, and
Yasan Sairali from the Mauritius.
Yes, it would. I mean, Estelle and Callum are ever improving, as I mentioned. They've got every potential of making it on the World Tour. We watched them against the Indonesians the other night. Rivaldi and Mentari might not be at their very best right now, but they're still a very respected and solid pair. You know, they've got medals at World Tour events. They've been a former top 10 pairing. There's George Bevan and Rob Golding in the coaching chair for England.
Ladies and gentlemen, today. On my right, Denmark, represented by Jesper Toft and Amelie Melund. And on my left, England, represented by Callum Hemming and Estelle van Leeuwen. Denmark serve.
So Denmark to get us going here with Emilia Melund.
Play.
She's such a phenomenal player as well, the Dane Mayland. She's been one of my favourite to watch in terms of Europeans. Been mixed on the World Tour recently. She's got a massive instinct for the game, and now she's playing with Jesper Toft, such a tall athlete who has worked very hard physically in the last couple of years, especially in covering the sort of side-to-side movement. He's such a threat overhead, massive smash, really steep angle, and it's going to be a big test again for Estelle and Callum, but they fell apart mentally the other night. It wasn't about their badminton, it was just about Callum in particular got a bit too excited towards the end, and getting to that stage of matches against a tough opponent when it matters is not something they're going to have had that much experience of.
Yeah.
They've got quite a few titles, but they've been IC level titles. They've got 4 titles in the last couple of years.
That would have been their biggest ever win.
That and facing the same pair at the European Championships recently. Either one of those 2 matches, or of course the Indonesians, like you said the other night. Any one of those 3 would be their biggest result ever.
Sure.
So I'm delighted to see them now competing at this level, and I'm hoping that there's enough momentum behind them for them to take it on a notch now and start competing at the World Tour, the Super 100s, 300s, and proving themselves there.
That's a good start for the English pair here at 4-1. Great shot there from Hemming. Great shot. 4th set. 5-1. Well, this is the end that we talked about, where everyone seems to be a little bit more comfortable with that England are on here.
Yeah, strangely, the conditions, which are quite slow in general out here, didn't seem to have the same amount of drift yesterday as the day before when you and I were doing the Indonesia-England match. Not a lot side to side. Big smash there from Helen, straight down the line. But it has been a little bit endy.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a sort of faster and slower end. Oh, should have put that away. I'm glad Amelia had the sense to
Service 2-6.
Well, you look at that
to back up.
result in the Euros to beat Xiamen and Delru, generally regarded as the best European pairing.
No longer.
But they've had that decline, haven't they?
Toft and Magellan have improved. I think that's partly it. Yes, I think Delru and Tom Jikel have, well, I'm not sure if it's declined. They're certainly not quite as in form as they were, but it's almost a 3rd chapter in terms of mixed doubles partnerships for Amelia Magellan. Used to play with Nicholas Noor and then obviously with Christopherson. Getting to World Tour finals, never really conversing, never getting over the line, but last summer these 2 had been playing together for a couple of months, had a terrific time in the Pan Am Tour of US Open and Canada Open.
Right.
Won the titles there, or won one final, was in the final of another, picked up another World Tour final. They've carried that into this year. He's got better and better. They've gelled together really well as a partnership.
Yeah.
And now for me, they are absolutely established as Europe's best mixed doubles player.
4-7.
And they keep beating Jikel and Delru. I think that's the other thing. They beat them in the final of the Mixed Team Championships in February. Beat them European Championships more recently.
Thank you.
Yeah, they only got together midway through last year, so they've gone from strength to strength, and they've cut that deficit to 3 points now.
Oh, it's lovely.
Very nicely done.
All right.
5-7.
Just looking at the season that they've had so far, apart from winning the European Championships, they've also won the All-England Masters, as we mentioned. They got 2nd round of the All England, 2 first-round exits at the German and Swiss Open.
He hits it so hard, Toft.
Does. Coming at that height as well, my goodness.
Yeah, he's got to be 6'5", 6'6", maybe even taller. So arm outstretched, racket on top of that. That's coming down at 9 feet already,
yeah,
and that's
feet.
without jumping. You know?
Incredible.
Maybe even 10. So he must be getting up to 10, 11, 12 feet if he wants to.
That's yeah, 12.
7-all.
Look at that. In the blink of an eye, they've drawn level.
The challenge really in this match is for the English pair. How many times in the last few months have we seen that ace from Jesper Toft? He's actually very skilled and actually very good around the net as well. But on serve, he's got a great flick and he can serve short and out wide with disguise. And serve and return for Toft in particular is a real big strength.
8 of the last 9 points. They're in the middle of a very good run here of 7.
Need to really be focused in return of serve and when they're on serve against Toft, the English pair. But the challenge I was about to say is really between Estelle and Amelia. And then for Callum Hemming not to hit up into the mid-court and certainly lifting up to that big forehand. But they can do it. I mean, they've got magic touch, both Estelle and Callum. And Hemming needs to relax and just find space if he can. A bit like what Toft just tried to do, he just missed the court. But that's the kind of thing. Hold the shot and then put it into the open space and get them lifting to the English. Clever play, taking Toft out of the game, keeping Nayland around the rear court.
Yeah. Looking at their season so far, Hemming and Van Leeuwen, they've 5 early exits.
Lovely.
Oh, beautiful touch there. And they go to the interval. The Danish pair 2 up here. 11-9 in this first game.
Absolutely magic shot to finish. Loads of disguise. Both the English were drifting left.
When he pushes up the court, just go up and over. Yeah, just go up and over. Okay. Okay, yeah. Just work together, stick together. Don't start doing it. Yeah. You're planning. Yeah, you can complete the shot.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
There have been 4 first-round exits for the English pair. All England, India Open, German Open, Swiss Open. They got to the second round of the Malaysia Open. Talked about the quarterfinals of the European Championships, and they lost to this pair. It's not easy. Not easy.
It hasn't, but they just need to keep going and keep getting that experience. There's moments when they're in a winning position. It was close at the Europeans, actually. Both of the games they played, I think the score was something like 15 and 18 against these two in the
17 and 18.
17 and 18. Quarterfinal, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And in both games, they were there. They had chances, but they just sort of at the crucial moments lost the ability to stay cool and find the space. A clever shot from Toft again.
Serves over. 12-11.
It's actually a really good matchup for the Danes, this, because it's a big, big challenge. I don't think they particularly like playing against Hemming and Van Leeuwen. Arguably, and this is just me, I think they'd rather play Jikel and Del Rue at the moment than Hemming and Van Leeuwen. That's the level.
What's that?
It's a styles thing, completely a styles thing. Yeah, I think no disrespect to anybody, but I think Delphine Delroux is a little bit more predictable.
Right.
Whereas Estelle Van Leeuwen actually is quite a surprising opponent to play against. She's really feisty. And I kind of missed that about her game as a junior. She's always, I mean, she's quite petite. She's grown in height quite a bit, but she was always quite small. She's got terrific racket skills and disguise. And it was quite a surprise for a lot of opponents. And then she sort of win a point and run up to the net, fist pumping and get in your face. You know, and then it suddenly becomes a little bit intimidating almost that players who are expecting to beat her and not beating her. And more recently, she's grown up and now she's playing on the World Tour and playing against people like this, you know, top 10 in the world. And I'm not seeing that from her. And I think it was actually a big asset of her game. That's a great shot.
Oh, that's right on the line, isn't it? Oh, perfectly placed.
14-13.
That's what I mean about his return of serve, Toft. He's a demon to serve to.
Yeah, we mentioned that obviously their last meeting was just a few weeks ago at the Euros, but before that, their very first meeting, service fault there, Neyland, was the very first tournament that Toft and Neyland played together in the non-international challenge, which they went on to win and play these two in the final.
I was going to say, that was the final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, though, I mean, these two would have been quite young at the time. Was it 21, perhaps?
The
non-international.
Oh, that was just last year, the very first tournament that Toft and Neyland played.
Right, okay.
2024, June.
I thought they'd met years ago, but perhaps not. Well, Megalyn would have been playing with her previous partners back then, to be honest, so yeah. It's tight, this. I'm glad the scoreline is as it is, because I think it breeds for a better matchup. We haven't seen England in competitive battles this week, other than in the mixed doubles.
14.
Right. Yeah, Xiamen and Van Leeuwen have been together since 2023, May of that year. Going back to what Bobby was referring to. Just immediately looks around in frustration there.
15-16.
Yeah, that match against Rivaldi Mentari, it was 21-15 to the Indonesians, then Xiamen Van Leeuwen turned it around to 21-15.
The English threw away the end of that first game, remember?
They also did.
They were in that.
Yeah, they were. You're right.
But yeah, sorry, go on.
And then it was that.
The English won the second.
And then it was
comfortably,
as you said, 18-15, and then losing it 19-21.
Yeah, they were in charge of the game.
17
and
15.
Quite honestly, Estelle Van Leeuwen was better, much better than Mentari, who is a world-class player. So the potential for Xiamen and Van Leeuwen is so high. Need to make it count though this year and next.
Saxoza 16-17.
Toft and Neyland that lead.
It's not a good serve.
Saxoza 18-16.
Even at 19-15, they still had it. And then it was 6 points in a row.
I actually called it, didn't I, as well, because I said, look, this is not over yet. There's a chance for Xiamen and Van Leeuwen to almost bottle this, and sadly, it came true. That's brilliant. That's Estelle at her best. Great from Xiamen to set that up as well, and to force Amélie Megalyn to be hitting back up to Estelle. It's really good stuff. Taking it early.
It's tight, this one.
Got to serve better.
It's got to be frustrating. Get yourself into a decent position for that to happen.
20 game point.
3 game points now for the Danes.
Oh, superb from Magellan.
Very nicely done, Malins.
First game
take that
won
first
by
game.
Denmark, 21-17.
Very tight game throughout, with the biggest lead that they had.
The last 2 serves for England put us in instant trouble. Point was over. If somehow the English had won those 2 points, it'd be 19-all right now. So they're in the match. They're very much in the match. It was just, again, to lose that focus and lose your serve at the crucial moment. It's just, you can't afford to do that against top 10 players.
Unless he's on a serve. Even then, because he's charging her in. When he's playing, she hits him, he's playing like soft slot, and she's just charging in. So unless we're going to go up and over on that shot, we're better off just playing to her side.
When he's attacking, don't you just get across?
That's the ball's dropping. Have to get him on the move, and he's got to move laterally. Obviously,
Svømmen virker rigtig godt. Lad være med at undervurdere.
Jamen, jeg var... Hvad med på ham?
Jeg synes, det er rigtig fint. Jeg synes, at helt seriøst, jeg synes sagtens, vi kan bruge svømme. Ja.
Synes du bare lidt højere, eller hvad?
Det er bare lige de der gange, du har svømmet. Du har meldt kort. Du har meldt kort, derfor jeg står og koger.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. Second game. Level. Play.
Wonder whether you managed to catch a little bit more there from Rob Golding.
Yeah, a little bit. He wanted Callum in particular try and exploit the sideways movement in the rear court of Toft, which has always been the sort of problem area for the Big Dane. He's never been the most...
Is it a size thing?
Partly, yeah. I mean, you can look at the physique of Jesper Toft. Yes, he's tall. Yes, he's got the big attack.
Yeah.
But only when you give him that chance. If you can make him late and keep him whipping side to side, he hasn't got the physicality necessarily to get across the court as quickly as somebody like Deschapol, or Zheng Siwei, of course. And so that is an area to attack, but it's being able to do that. You can't do that when the shot is coming down at you. It's only having to go back up to him. You need to take control early in the forecourt to then get the chance to hit down, or at least drive with, you know, a downward direction.
Column, not something provide your opponent.
Curb that enthusiasm.
That 2-all.
Remember, it was England that actually got off to a very good start in that first game. They were up to, it was like 7-2 for a little while.
Oh, great interception from Van Leeuwen. They were queuing up for that one, in fact.
That 3-2.
They look pretty together today, if you like, as a pair as well, which is really good to see because, you know, we talked about it earlier, their partners off court. And after that sort of slight disaster at the end of the Indonesian match of the day, I hear they had a few words to say to each other in private after the match, which made me fear that they weren't going to be quite as gelled today. But I'm glad to see that they're back on the same page for sure.
Just wide. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any sort of issue there. I mean, you know, Bobby, you played doubles, and it's so important. I mean, there are doubles players I've spoken to who have a relationship only on the court, and often they don't even hang out.
Yeah,
right.
There's quite a few of those.
Yeah,
in Indonesia and Malaysia, big doubles pairs.
Right,
that work that well and work well together. Yeah,
literally only on the court, nothing else.
In fact, Deshapol and Saptiri, I don't think they were not that they had problems, but they weren't the greatest friends.
Yeah.
When you ever saw them around the tour, they were always separate.
Right.
Compared to all the husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend couples in mixed doubles that we see around the tour these days. There's so many.
Obviously, you know, Rankin Reddy and Shetty, you know, don't hang out much.
Right.
Off court either. Just another pair that I know of. But
good block from Estelle. But yeah, it's massively important,
that chemistry,
to have the chemistry, to work well together. I mean, one of the matches in my humble career that I remember, you know, for all the wrong reasons, semi-final of the Europeans, my partner and I just sort of fell apart in terms of focus and chemistry, and weren't working together at the crucial part of a tough third game, and lost the plot and lost the match.
But now the important part was, did you guys analyze that and sort of quickly realize you need to let's figure that out and move on, draw a line under it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's all stuff you can work together in training. Doubles is fascinating because you almost have a playbook of set plays. Whether it's you're on serve, I'm going to serve slightly wider, and then I'm going to look for this shot, which means you cover that. And when those things work together well, it feels brilliant as a pair. You can win rallies as a pair. For example, I never had the biggest smash, so they'd lift me in the rear corners and try and keep me there. So I'd be smashing straight, smashing to middle at one point, and my partner would know when. I'd go big cross smash, he'd run out for the big forehand, and I'd get to the net, almost like mixed, you know. But when it works, it makes you feel brilliant. And same in defence, you know, you're blocking, you're driving. At one point, you know to block and follow, and your partner rotates around you, and it feels good. I love doubles for that reason. But if you're not on the same, here we go, look.
Big discussion here.
Yeah, see, whilst that looks a relatively positive discussion, the body language suggests that somebody's unhappy with something someone else is doing, you know?
Yeah, there just seemed to be a little tinge of frustration.
Whereas these two, like high fives, pats on the bum, you know, that compare that to Henning and Van Loon right now.
You know, they're
still going.
Still talking. That's been non-stop.
Good return.
Very good return.
Really well covered by Toft, though.
Oh! That is a point that was surely theirs, the Danes.
They missed one or two in the opening game in the same way that they should have put away. A bit of a lifeline, I think, for the English.
Actually, he reacted fairly well to that, and he was good to have left it in the end.
I don't think he tried to. I don't think he had enough time to react at all. Good idea. Just got the execution wrong.
7-6.
There's a lot more discussion on the blue side of the court right now than the red.
Estelle doesn't look absolutely comfortable, does she? Or happy with the game plan right now. Oh, we need to put that away. Yeah,
she does.
It's tough as well for the English this week because, you know, we talked about it being a development tournament, the fact that most of the players are quite young. Callum actually is one of the oldest in the team. Nathan Robertson's the established doubles coach for the English. And of course, can't be at every single tournament around the world. And with Ben and Sean in the men's doubles,
absent, not available,
yeah, because Ben Lane's sort of nursing an injury, you know, looking for an operation later this year, and having injections in his foot to be able to play and stuff like that. So Nathan's at home working with them in sort of to prepare for the World Tour matches that are upcoming over the next few months, and of course the Worlds. They've just brought in Christina Pedersen from Denmark, but she's only really working on certain hours, certain days of the week. She's not established yet with the team and doesn't have that rapport, and of course, if she's not working full-time, you can't expect her to be at everything either.
Sure.
So Rob Golding actually works with the English junior team. And whilst he's got a great relationship with all of these guys, it's not like he's been working with them week in, week out and preparing for massive matches like this.
Yeah, that's not easy. You're kind of parachuted in for this. It's tough.
Yeah.
Look, having said that, it's been very competitive so far in this match. Just a point in it. Flick serve there.
Good serve, yeah. Oh, good luck from Estelle. She read that quite nicely because Toft was pretty skillful there at the forehand net.
And it's scampering across, almost gets it over.
Just too good from Toft. She's frustrated, but
yeah, you can see that.
She's under a lot of pressure then. Good serve again, good change up from Mageland.
We go into the interval here of the second game with Toft and Mageland. Already taken the first game, been leading by 3 in the second. It's 11-8.
We have an experience at home, and especially for her. Whenever Estelle's playing net, all she's doing is just brushing, dabbing, just past her. So she goes to net, plays net, you've got to come in behind her. Okay? Or Estelle needs to start playing crosses, but that's more difficult. But you can jab a little bit as well. Yeah, you can be more aggressive, but it's got to be from her. That's right,
Part 2, 20 seconds. Part 2, 20 seconds. 11-8. Play.
Did you manage to catch anything much there?
A little bit, yeah. There was talking about where Estelle's coming in and playing nets, Mageland's coming in and sort of brushing the shuttle, pushing it straight just past Estelle. So they were kind of asking Callum to step up and cover that shot, or for Estelle to stop playing cross net, which I don't think is the answer personally. I think she's doing what she's doing, and she's got to take it on. She's got to be confident, keep going, basically. So I liked that. I also liked Callum and Estelle, the way they came back onto court. There was a little bit more chemistry. They were quite encouraging, but at the same time, Estelle in particular, looks like there's a whole world of pressure on her shoulders here today. I don't understand why. They're expecting a lot of themselves. I like that. I like to set the bar high and you'll achieve better results, but enjoy yourself.
What can I ask? Is it, and I'm just purely speculating here, is it because they're the highest ranked of all the players on pairs here, of Team England? Does that almost make them feel like they've got to lead the way? And I know you weren't necessarily, you don't know because you haven't spoken to them about this in particular, but I don't know whether does that make you feel like the spearhead of the team?
Yeah, it will do. It will do. They're an established pair. They've been working well. They've got a few IC titles. Nobody else here for England are at the level, are playing those kind of tournaments, are getting as far as they get.
They're regularly playing on the World Tour now.
They are, but only for the last few months, as you mentioned.
But that's still far ahead of everyone else, right?
But they're massive underdogs. They did well at the Euros. They're playing number 7 in the world.
So your point is, why are they putting that pressure on themselves?
They're putting it on themselves. They're not being put under that pressure by their opponents.
Right.
They look like they're putting that pressure upon themselves. And I just think it's hard to do this, right? But I just think sometimes players need to kind of take a step back, look at what you've achieved and what you're achieving right now, enjoy the moment, you know, get the hard work done in training by all means. Full commitment, work your ass off, forgive my language. But right now, you're in Xiamen, China, playing the Sudirman Cup. You're up against one of the powerhouse nations of the world.
World number 7, like you said.
Against one of the best European pair in the world right now.
Yeah.
And at 17 all, in a number of games that you're achieving against this pair, you're well in it.
Yeah.
You know, enjoy it. I want to see Callum just keep using that creative flair, find the space and enjoy himself. I want to see Estelle just relax a little bit. You know, you move freely when you're relaxed, and it feels like her head is a little bit tight.
Well, they're leading by 8 here, very comfortable. I'll make it 9. So, Bobby and I are going to be commentating on England's final group match, and that's one that actually they look at it against an India that are not at full strength and are struggling right now.
Yeah, well,
as we talk about it against Indonesia. Your assignment, Bobby, should you choose to accept it, is to have a little chat with Team England between now and then. And
I'm going nowhere near them.
see what we can glean before the next match.
I haven't got the bottle to get involved. Nothing to do with me. No, they wouldn't listen to me anyway. It's fine.
but also just to find out what's going on, team dynamics and.
That's bad luck. Good pressure from Toft. They're playing really well here, particularly in the second, Toft and Megaland. England do have a chance against India, particularly. You know, India are missing Ranki Reddy and Shetty in the men's doubles, much like we're missing Sean and Ben in the men's doubles.
That would be a nice matchup, by the way. I would have quite liked to see that one. Yeah.
They're also missing their top women's doubles pair, Jolly and Pilela.
Yep.
Very well established and competitive pair. So
match point 9.
There's chances. They've got a strong men's singles team, but I mean, right now, however, it's crunch time.
Oof. That is probably the most wayward serve we've seen. Court 2 in 3 days. Still 10 match points to save.
Playing singles net and getting the half-court lift.
Just too good today. The Danes, a much bigger victory than they achieved a few weeks ago at the European Championships. Well, they look very positive, very happy. Quite the same on the other side. Shaking the head there from Van Leeuwen. Standing ovation from their teammates, Denmark.
17.
They'll feel thrilled actually that they've worked out how to get on top of Hemming and Van Leeuwen actually in 3 meetings in recent months. Not only that, I think Van Leeuwen and Hemming kind of a bit worried about their psychological state, if you like, at the moment. I just think they need to take a step back and remember where they are and enjoy it, enjoy the moment, and go out there and just give their best, have some fun, do the hard work in training, come here under these circumstances with half a coaching team, a very young bunch of teammates. Nobody's expecting much.
Yeah.
So don't put pressure on yourselves. Go enjoy it.
Yeah. Very good points made there by Bobby Griffin. Jesper Toft and Amelia Meilund have beaten England's Callum Hemming and Estelle Van Leeuwen 21-17, 21-10, just 32 minutes. Up next, men's singles. Magnus Johannesson of Denmark takes on England's Harry Huang. steps leading up to the Fenghuang Gymnasium. It's an absolutely fantastic structure, the biggest of its kind in China. It can hold about 18,000 people in here, and as the days progress towards the latter stages, you're going to see more and more streaming in. Right now, it is match 2 of this tie between Denmark and England. Denmark off to a great start here. It's time now for the men's singles. And that will see Magnus Johannesson of Denmark playing England's Harry Huang. In terms of rankings, this is actually the closest one of all the 5 matches today that we'll have. What do you think then, Bobby?
On paper, it's quite a good matchup, and potentially Harry Huang's got opportunities here, largely because you get one singles outing in each of the ties. And today we're not looking at Anders Antonsen or Victor Axelsen or Rasmus Gemke or Mads Christoffersen. You know, the Danes have put out their 5th best on paper men's singles player.
Yeah.
However, he's higher ranked and he's played quite a few less tournaments than Harry. I think Harry's played 12 or 13. Johannesson's only played 9, I believe. So on average, we're looking at a player that gets further in tournaments. You know, he's even runner-up on the World Tour before Johannesson at the Orléans Masters a couple of years ago.
I'll just come in here to say, of course, Johannesson has won both their meetings within weeks apart in 2022, and he won both those matches very, very comfortably, but that's still 2.5 years ago.
Yes, but I'm not expecting a big change today, if I'm honest.
Right.
Harry Huang was a terrific-looking junior player at sort of 14, 15 years old. Another English player who potentially was going to make it on certainly the big European stage and potentially get onto the world stage, and hasn't quite done it. And there's a story of that in England, I'm sad to say, where we develop these players before they hit sort of that physical maturing stage, that between 11, 12, 13 years old, we've got players that are challenging, and particularly in Europe. But there was every chance that players like Harry Huang, or we're going to see later, Kirby Nam, might have gone on to be really big names in Europe, you know, and it doesn't happen for some reason. This guy Johannesson is I think he's a good player. He's a steady player. He's got every attribute. He's a bit quicker than Harry Huang, a bit more explosive.
And he's got a runner-up finish at a Super 300. The Orléans Masters in 2023 was up to world number 31 in July of 2023.
I did that match too, actually. I remember young Priyanshu from India.
Yeah, that's right.
He just come through the World Juniors and was coming onto the senior tour and won that title. It was brilliant.
Much taller player, Harry Huang, at 185 from Bedfordshire, and he is playing at his highest ranking of 95. Has not had...
It's great to see him inside the top 100, though. That's a really big achievement for Harry.
Did win the Hungarian International Championships back in 2023 and the Egypt International as well in that year.
He got 18 points off Alex Lanier.
I was going to say
in the Europeans recently.
14 and 18, not bad.
Yeah.
That was in the round of 16.
Wasn't necessarily Lanier's most focused performance, if I'm honest, at the time. Just being honest about it.
Yeah.
Whilst it looks great on paper, Lanier left a gear or two to go into.
Umpire is from India, Mr. Dutton, and the service judge, Victor Wong from Hong Kong, China. Listen, Johannesson got to the quarterfinals, lost to Christo Popov. of the European Championships. It's his most recent tournament.
Best badminton I've ever seen Christo Popov play that week. Absolutely incredible against Lanier in the semi-final.
England, represented by Harry Wong. And on my left, Denmark, represented by Magnus Oasen. Denmark is serve. Love all. Play.
Let's see how these two progress from their last meetings 2.5 years ago.
1 love.
I like that from Harry, showing signs of trying to win that net battle early.
We look again at the contrast in the kind of seasons that they've had, with Johannesson playing in World Tour tournaments like the Orléans Masters, where he lost out in the qualifiers. He was out early in the German Open, Swiss Open and Thailand Masters.
Wow.
Great well, didn't he? Yeah.
He looks up for this today, Harry Huang. There's no,
Great love.
There's no getting past the fact that Johansson's playing pretty well, though.
And Harry Huang, for his part, only 2 tournaments he's played in outside of national duty. Polish Open, where he was out in the 2nd round, and the Portugal International in the opening round. Gets his first point on the board here, so yeah, very different where these two are at the moment and the exposure that they're getting. He had a long gap out, didn't he, Johannesson, last year. 38 shots that rally.
So it's over.
His last match in 2024. Was at the Singapore Open. That's a 750. That was when he was playing at something like 35 in the world. And he played Shiyu-Chi there. And had to retire with that injury. It just shows you that's kind of where he was at before that injury.
5-1.
Yeah, he's a solid player, and avoiding those injuries, we might have seen much more of him. As I was mentioning earlier, though, Harry Huang, he took the European gold medal at under 15, and he's the same age as Christo Popov.
Yeah.
That's just to show you where the comparison,
yeah,
if you like, as to where some of these players were at sort of 13, 14, 15 years old, including Estelle van Leeuwen, she's a terrific junior player, and she has carried that on now through, and I'm hoping that to see her continue on the World Tour that way. It seems like some of the English players almost go missing from 16 years old, and sort of now they're back at 23 and trying to pick up where they left off. But they haven't gone missing. They're still there. They're still in the England setup. They're still doing it. They're still training. But you compare that to the Popov brothers, Alex Lanier, you compare that to Denmark and how successful Victor Axelsen, Anders Antonsen, those kind of players were at the same time when they were 13. These English players are the same. So how come the English haven't got to where those players are now?
what's that little step up? Yeah.
Where is the disparity? Why has it happened? And I think that's what's being massively addressed recently within the England setup. Well, I think Hawkeye's busy on both
That
courts.
was the other one, yeah.
Yeah. Just had a big flash on the big screen saying it was in, but I think that was caught wrong.
This one's in as well. Similar.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Correction, in.
Yeah, he twisted his knee playing Xiu Chi and Singapore, and Xiu Chi actually having to call a medic in that one. He was in pretty bad pain. Knee injuries, we know, can be really debilitating, really take you out for a while.
Good rally from Huang. Yes, that's what we've been missing a little bit with Harry Huang, is that gets that half chance, and I want to see him explode into something with a couple of shot combo, and take that initiative. At times he's on top of the rally and then looks a little bit passive, and could have got behind it, smashed and followed it in, expecting the block to play the kill. There he did follow it in a bit more, with a bit more emphasis, and pushed it into the body. It was much more positive from Huang.
Service over. 7-3. Back on court.
This is a man who's beaten Li Zijia last year at the French Open. I mean, he's got that ability. Listen, when he's in his prime.
Brilliant.
Well, well done there, Harry Huang.
Service over. 4-7.
Better from Huang. Got to keep seeing that explosive attack. That's the bit for me he's been lacking at times. And I'm not talking about... We see these sorts of players playing on the national setup quite a lot. Top-level club badminton, or playing nationals, or whatever it might be, and they look brilliant, don't get me wrong. But when you come up against genuinely high-ranked World Tour players, you can't get away with it anymore. You've got to be 100% on, and you've got to take your chances. Really putting in a good show today so far, Harry Huang.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's narrowed it down to just 2 points. Just 3 wins this year for Harry Huang, and 9 matches coming into this tournament. Putting on a very good show here.
Good rally.
One of the longest we've seen, I think.
That's brilliant.
Oh, great shot, Harry Huang.
Wonderful.
6-7.
He's just growing into this, isn't he?
He is. He's growing in confidence, and I think he's very quickly understood 2 things. First of which, he was taking early net and spinning earlier, and Johannessen's quick. So he was losing that little bit of a net battle. So instead, he's just prodding it into court around the service line, not playing so tight, and he's actually getting a longer rally out of it, and he's staying on top of them, which is good. The second one is he's got to hit hard and get into the net and do something. You can't just cruise around the court and expect to come out on top. So he's playing a lot more aggressively than I've seen him play, and that's brilliant.
Take it to your opponent. That's what we keep saying.
Look at that, flat punch clear, gets a weaker reply, driving into the body, gets an even weaker reply and then kills at the net. That's the sort of aggression that he's capable of playing a lot more rallies like that. And for some reason, at times, he just doesn't.
4 points in a row for Huang. And that run is finally broken by Johannesson.
Service over. 8-7.
Yeah, Huang went for that punch clear again. It came off a bit short, a bit flat. And easy for the left-hander. That's that net battle I was talking about. Got to be careful. Because Huang's not exploding to the net in the first instance as quick as Johannesson is. See how he took that quite below the tape? It meant Johannesson could get in even easier and earlier and make the shuttle go downwards, leaving Harry very little option.
Out.
Service over.
Lizzie Tolman and Freya Redfern.
9.
And I think Nadeem Dalvi's still down there as well, who got the pick the other day for the English team in the singles.
Yeah, the rest of the team all getting ready, I suppose, for the matches coming up. It's a lean squad. Out. No challenge from Huang.
Service over. 10-8.
The good thing about Harry Huang, he's a very cool customer. He's very composed and calm. I don't think we'll see the same kind of problems if it gets to crunch time at the end of the matches. He's got that ability just to keep playing, you know. He's very within himself, and I like that when those moments occur at 18-all in the third or something.
Also, right now you've established this, showing that you can take the initiative. You're playing it in front of this forehand corner quite nicely. You can sometimes playing the deep neutralizer, which you can take advantage of. You're being up early, but you're not really playing it.
Seconds. Go to 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's a bit too late into the
follow up third, yeah. Straight as well, not just cross.
11-8. Play.
Yeah, that's interesting what singles coach George Bevan was saying to Harry Huang then, which I agree with. Similar to what I was talking about earlier. He's got the opportunity there to get in a bit earlier and put Johannesson under a bit more pressure, especially when he hits hard down in the first instance, and then can come in and do something, take it a bit earlier, a bit more pace behind that next shot into the body, or just drag it wide. And that's kind of what I was saying. Need to see a bit more of from Huang at times.
Yeah, thank you.
Almost there.
Terrific from Johannesson. Just that initiative, taking a chance, being a bit more aggressive. Because the rally was very neutral to begin with.
That's done well again in the net, yeah.
The backhand sort of flat lift was quite aggressive, and it got Johannesson on the back foot. So then use that initiative. You've got the initiative now, got to do something with it, and this time Harry Huang did that.
Got there quick.
So it's over. 14 again. Play.
Yeah, he does just apologise for that, is it? So Annette Gordon falls over in his favour, Johannesson. Kind of going his way right now.
Oh, he's landed in.
So it's over. 11-15.
Punch clear from Harry Huang.
Oh, nice touch.
Looking out again there, and I think perhaps been one or two where he's got a chance to just maintain the attack. Harry Huang I'm talking about.
One of those longer rallies.
See again there, could have taken the shot earlier and played a more aggressive shot. Instead just sat back, used a little bit of deception, but it gave Johannesson time to get back in on top, which he did.
And now at 5 points, this is the biggest lead he's enjoyed in this match, Johannesson.
Just a little bit passive at times. That's my issue with this level. I've always had such a big respect for what Harry Huang has done in England, but you're coming up against players in the top 50 at times here. And yes, Johannesson isn't quite there yet, but you know he's had that injury and he's a tough competitor.
16.
It's pretty close though. So far, the English are putting on a pretty good show.
I agree. And we saw that in snatches as well, didn't we, against Indonesia as well the other day.
Yeah.
So it's over.
And this is a player, I think it's fair to say, Johannesson is a top 50 player, isn't he, generally? I mean, he was in the 30s or so before the injury.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So this is Huang's done well to keep pace with him generally. It's up to 6 now at the point, the lead.
That's nice from Johannesson. Everything about that, consistency, shot quality. One loose shot from Harry is all it took. It shows you how many times Harry Huang's actually played a loose shot in the match. Not very. There's just times when I think he should be doing that a bit more. More aggressive.
Well, that looks pretty in to me.
I thought it was in. Challenge though.
Some thinks otherwise. And a little bit closer than I thought it was, but it certainly still is in.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over. 13-18. Play.
Good rally.
Yeah.
Service over. 19-13.
Couple away here, Johannesson, from taking this first game, which again was tight just before the interval, and he's starting to pull away a little. Seven game points here for the Dane.
It's a good cross smash.
20,
very close 13. To getting a perfect length and not enabling Johannesson to hit that, but that's it. It's the half chances.
Thank you.
Johannesson's taking more of those half chances than Harry is. For me, that's been the difference. Slice. It's unlucky.
Just out. Johannesson then takes the first game with a fairly comfortable margin. 8 points, 21-13. Right idea, didn't quite work out from there.
Nej, det er den ikke. Altså der er stadig nede i hjørnet her, der ligger man stopper lidt, hvor sidevinden er klart den der dominerende. Det er vigtigt, at man ligger og slår de der, som du siger, der er 2 muligheder for den der dybe forhånd, hvor mange.
Nej, det er orange.
Jeg tror ikke, der var ikke noget derovre.
Jo, der var en orange, men det er fint nok. Tag den væk.
Der er 2 muligheder for den her dybe forhånd. Den lige giver, eller du skærer den hårdt på kryds, ikke? De der inde her. Så hvis du ligger nede ved round headen, slå dit flødegrum op her. Giver en skære en lille smule. Det er derfor, de ligger hernede. Det er fordi, de får en lille smule. Ja. De der bløde nogen henover, det er dem, vi bliver presset på. Men det vigtigste er, at vi bliver duellerne. Ja. Ikke? At vi ikke prøver et eller andet med, at vi skal afgøre.
Alright, you've got to trust your defense to do that. Alright? And then we counter. Yeah? How do you feel after these situations?
Okay, I think. When I'm here, it's good. When I'm down here, just losing 20 points by flat clears or flat crosses, I think. I'm playing hard, but the thing is he's clearing me a lot. When he's late, he's clearing me a lot.
Okay. So, there is one there. So either you can bring it to the middle as we've done before, middle and nothing, and just follow early, and then when you get the chance, just get a bit of a shot.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Second game. Love all. Play.
Probably you were listening in there just now during the break. Anything you picked up?
I caught a little bit of what Harry Huang and George Bevan were talking about. He's not feeling entirely comfortable in a small area forehand sides with the shot sets coming off.
Love.
Jordan's advice is to use the middle a little bit more in those situations. It just sort of narrows the angle. It's almost like a neutralising shot, a nothing shot. Just put the shuttle from rear court into the centre and follow it in quickly and not give your opponent time to exploit angles. Didn't catch much of the rest of the conversation.
Might have just gone out. Played it.
Service over. 1, 2.
Anders Antonsen in the middle there, given a rest today.
There'll be a nice battle against Denmark and Indonesia.
Yeah, tomorrow. Oof. That's going to be a really exciting clash, that Denmark and Indonesia.
And as we mentioned, India versus England would be good. By the way, India might be looking to pull off a bit of an upset in opening game against Indonesia. And in fact, they just have in the mixed doubles.
Service over. 2, 3.
Fenghuang is now perhaps on the side that he might feel a bit more comfortable on. We shall see. Well wide from Johannesson.
Terrific net shot to set that up. And,
4, 2.
that's a couple of times he's gone wide. Fairly comfortable attacks in this second game.
Service over. 3, 4.
After a decent start there from Fenghuang, it's 3 of the last 4 points have gone Johannesson's way. Oh, good rally.
5, 4.
It's a good shot. Block off the hip. It's not easy to be that accurate in defence from where Johannesson was hitting from. Came off nicely.
There's a 65% win rate, Johannesson, after winning his first game. 2/3 of the time goes on to win his matches.
Yeah, and if you do that,
cut off before we got the vital bit there.
Passive for me. Needs to be doing something that's going to create an opportunity. You know, he was up off the floor quite early. Wasn't on the back line. Could have hit down or at least hit a shot that's going to expose a weakness. Going for that clear all the time.
5-7.
It's almost too neutral for me. It's better in this this rally.
Really started to assert himself in this second game. Took a little while after Harry Huang's decent start, but he's won 6 of the last 8 points in Hansen.
Service over.
5-point run already. Doesn't want to let him get really much beyond this 3-point lead that he has.
Good aggressive play from Johannesson. It's almost Stangard there, the coach for the Dane. Really happy with how Magnus is playing in this second game. Back end of the first two, wasn't it? He really took charge. To go for the lines a little bit more, I think, Harry Huang, when he gets the chance to hit.
He's going to challenge this. I thought that looked out, but we shall see. Tell you what, at the moment, Hansen's on a pretty decent roll here.
Still want to see Harry Huang take a few more chances.
Out to 9 of the last 11.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Johannesson's way.
I want to see a stat one day that says how many challenges on your opponent's back line, so like that one for Harry Huang, do you win when the shuttle is cleared or lifted? Because they've taken ages to come up and land. It lands softly. A pretty clear view of the line judge. The member of staff with one job is to watch what happens on that back line.
Correct.
Why would you bother challenging it? They never win. They're never right. No. Flat smashes and drives.
You get that.
You get them. And you understand them because they're hard to read and difficult. That's a good shot. Oh, another challenge.
Oh, I thought that was out actually, to be fair.
Oh, I thought this caught the line, but...
That one you understand a bit more though.
Yeah,
obviously.
It's played quick and it's fast and it's under net. It's difficult to...
Right.
It could easily have just missed the line, like you believe. And you'd expect it almost. But the high lifts and clears on your opponent's back line, you've got no clue. You don't know if it's landed.
Oh!
1-0 to me.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Good shout though. I mean, that's definitely worth a call, isn't it?
That's definitely worth a challenge. This is my point.
He's had a little shake of the head. He's got no challenges left. He knows that was tight.
Well, he wasted one. This is my point. You've wasted a challenge.
Yeah, the earlier one. Yeah.
By lifting it to the back line. You know, if it had landed inside the back line or outside the back line, as a player, You can't really feel that, so to speak. And so, it's on your opponent's side of the miles away.
This isn't a Harry Huang thing, this is generally, because you see it everywhere.
All the time.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. What a waste. And now he's out of challenges, he might need one later. If he gets back into this game, if it's 18 all, and there's a chance to take the second, and he loses it because he hasn't got a challenge left, we'll be talking about how silly he was for wasting a challenge.
Court 20 seconds. Court 20 seconds.
Johannesson was back on court pretty quickly there. He's got a bit of momentum with him, I think.
11-5.
He's got his game face on there. Rare point in this very good run from Johannesson. Who's got 10 of the last 13. Just seems to have gone into a little bit of a shell, Harry Huang. It's a run of points now, gets confidence back.
That's more like it.
That's a good one, isn't it? Lovely stuff there from the Englishman.
7-11.
If it's taken a bit of a beating in the last 10 minutes from Johannesson to realise that the only way to beat this guy is to actually have a go. Like, go at him. You know.
What have you got to lose?
If he'd have missed the line there by a few inches, and you know, I don't think anybody, even himself or the coaches, would have been disappointed with the fact that he went for it.
11.
You know, so
there's intent.
Yeah, there's intent there because he's trying to play his own natural, normal style at a certain speed almost, and it's not getting him the win.
Yeah,
you've got to change something. You've got to like go or change a tactic somewhere. And for me, it's just a little bit of aggression.
Well, he's already on his best run in this game, 3 points in a row.
Denmark,
we just asked about challenging in those situations.
I guarantee it's out. Big clear, loads of time. Your opponent thinks it's out, so he's left it, and he looks happy when it lands. The line judge has got all the time in the world. She called it out. Why are you wasting a challenge?
Yeah, it's a very, very fair point.
To be fair, he's got a couple of challenges left, and he's in the lead. You know, he can probably afford one, but
challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining.
I think there's something psychological about it.
It's called craziness.
Bugbear here for Bobby Griffin.
I just see it all the time. It's just, you know. That's nice.
Oh,
from
very well there.
Yeah.
Well, this has been very good since the interval. And actually, we saw a lot of that in the last time.
Aggressive, nice little push into the net early. You know, it's the aggressive speed of movement I want to see at times, and he did that there. It's not the shot necessarily, it's the intent.
Yeah.
Plus, it was a clever shot, not a bit of deception over the top.
That's 5 points in a row. By far, his best run in the entire match. Oh, just lost his footing.
He got deceived by the slower shot. Really good recovery, what a shame.
So it's over.
Very good moment.
There are a couple of shots there earlier in the rally by Johannesson where he's doing what I'm kind of asking Harry Huang to do, which is, you know, don't lose that initiative. Right. Get there and play it down, have a go. It's a bit of a half chance. Have a go at the smash. If it doesn't come off, then just lay off, get yourself back into a neutral valley, fair enough, and continue. If you don't take on the half chances at this level against a better opponent, that's a shame.
13-10.
Then you're never going to improve, basically.
Service over. 11-13.
Disappointment for Magnus.
Tightened up considerably. That's a credit to Harry Huang here.
Service over. 14-11.
Really well played by Johannesson.
15-11.
Just trying to gauge there what the difference is between the two. Yes, Harry Huang is obviously taller, but he also relies a little bit on that height and reach to get to shots, whereas Johannesson, for example, you could take a look at the next two long rallies, and if it's looking like a long rally, just keep your eye on one person's feet and how quickly they're moving, and the next time choose the other guy and try it again. You'll see a notable difference between that first initial step between Johannesson and Harry Huang. There's just an initial burst of energy, and it makes your feet move quickly for Johannesson. And I guess he has to because he's shorter.
But I was just going to say, it's the reach and the steps and the size.
Why can't a taller player move just as fast?
Right.
His feet here, but he's kind of cruising around the court. Everything's almost, that's a little bit quicker, but it's almost not one pace, but it's
17-11.
like a nice little rhythm. You watch Johannesson in the next rally, and there's slow, really fast slows. Like there's just an explosive move at times when he needs to or when he wants to. It's well played again for the Dane.
Well, he's got to do something now, Harry Huang. Because it's a big lead now, 7 points. Magnus Johannesson very close now to wrapping this up.
Early he gets around the head there. That's not something Harry Huang's been able to do at all. Neutral rally, and it just explodes into that position to get himself an aggressive attack.
Wow, that's a whopping 9 match points now for Magnus Johannesson.
One blip in the middle of this game, wasn't it? But otherwise, a really good performance from the Dane today.
And it's all done. Johannesson makes it 3 out of 3 against this opponent, Harry Huang, who he hasn't faced in about 2.5 years. As mentioned there by Bobby, there was a good little period.
Match won by Denmark, 21-13, 21-11.
Slightly muted celebration there, I think. It was almost a bit half-hearted, wasn't it, from the Danes? But an expected win, a good victory for Johannesson. He played pretty well throughout the match. Just a couple of moments where he sort of dropped his level, but There's a lot to be proud of today as well for Harry Huang. It's a big stage, the Sudirman Cup, representing your country. I just think there's a little bit more to his level that needs to improve if he wants to break into, you know, let's say the top 50 in the world. He's a little bit away from that physically, and there's that intent he needs to get used to in attack to make a difference and win points.
So Magnus Johannesson of Denmark beats England's Harry Huang 21-13, 21-11 in 44 minutes. More singles now. Women's coming up. Lena Højmark Kjærsfeldt of Denmark will play Xiamen of England. That's coming up soon. This place will be filling up. Certainly tomorrow, China in action. Got a day off today. Down to 2 courts as well for the rest of the competition. Here at the TotalEnergies BWF Sudirman Cup Finals 2025 Mixed Team World Championships. Denmark well in control here against England at the moment. And it's time now for the women's singles. This is the deciding match of the tie. If Lena Højmark Kjærsfeldt beats Xiamen or Kirby Nan, then it's all over. And someone you know very well as well, Kirby Nan.
Yeah, what a moment this is for Kirby. She's a well, former training partner of mine, actually, going back to when she was a junior. Obviously I'm a lot older than she is, but when she was sort of 13, 14, 15 years old, she played at well, various training centres, but one of them was the University of Bath in Avon under Pete Bush. Big shout to Pete Bush, who's retiring quite soon from head coach there. But Kirby was, she was a brilliant junior. She actually made her debut for the England team at the 2016 European Mixed Team Championships. So we're going back 9 years. She's been a national champion 2 years ago, after really a sort of up and down kind of junior career where she took some time off to study and she's had a few things going on in her personal life and stuff, so she's not been at that level. But back when she was 15 years old, we were all talking about, you know, this great player who's going to go on to achieve great things, and I was talking about it earlier in the lead up to the men's singles. But it's great to see her now sort of back in the fold, so to speak, and she's gone full-time at the National Training Centre in Milton Keynes. She's actually won the Bucks title back-to-back.
British universities.
Yeah, which might not sound like much, but in the UK we've got connections with Malaysian, Indonesian, Chinese universities where the British university's got, you know, a setup out there, and they've got places here where they can come and study. So it might be that you're at the University of Nottingham, but in China, as a Chinese student.
Yeah.
You come over for a year to play badminton and continue your studies in Nottingham, for example. Well, you're then invited to play box. So we get these incredible players from Asia coming to study in the UK and you know, often winning, like we saw this year, the Bucks titles. Well, that means that on occasion, winning Bucks is harder than winning the national title. Yeah, so Kirby won 23 and 24 Bucks, and that's really impressive in the women's singles event. She's got her work cut out for her today, don't get me wrong. Lena Kersfeld is 30 now, but back in form, and recent European champion. So I just hope Kirby's relaxed and can go out there and enjoy this, because this is not a stage, you know, we're all used to seeing Kirby Nan play on, and I'm just delighted she's here.
I think you made a point as well to me that like Harry Huang, at that sort of mid-teens level, she was really, really something.
Yeah.
And you felt...
Yeah, potentially, I mean, she could have gone to massive things, yeah.
So first ever meeting between these two.
All right, black, right for you. Black, this side. Receive, your serving.
So, Lena Hoymark Kersfeld up first. Who's achieved a lot in her time. Current European champion, I should say, just a few weeks ago, 31 years of age, 174 centimeters tall, playing in the highest ever ranking now. She first achieved also back in 2019. And has got never won on the World Tour, 7 runners-up, including the Swiss Open this year. Chen Yufei beat her. Kirby Nan, we've mentioned a fair bit about her already, was out of the fold for a long time, showing a lot of promise as a teenager, the 27-year-old from Bristol. 64 centimeters tall now. Don't worry too much about that ranking of 1,107. She has been a lot higher at 187, but I mean, if we are strictly to go by these rankings, I mean, that is about 1,100 places between them, which would be one of the biggest disparities, but we can put that aside, I think, right?
Ignore it, yeah. I mean, she's down in the hundreds in the English rankings, right? And I've said that she was national champion. You know?
Yes, so, exactly.
So yeah, let's not worry too much about that. Firstly, I mean, credit to Lena Kersfeld. About a year ago, 18 months ago, I'd kind of written her off. She's 31 now, and I didn't think she was going to get back inside the top 20. She's back to 16 in the world. That is brilliant.
Yeah, back to where she was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no Mia Blichfeld of the Europeans, no Carolina Marin there to defend, you know, an 8th title that would have been. So she's picked up some decent ranking points by doing that, and that's really helped. And you know, you can only beat who's in front of you, so that's great for Lena. I joined Kirby for breakfast this morning, actually. We shared a coffee and we just had a chat, and I was asking her, you know, why now? She's 27.
Yeah.
And essentially, and it's really good and sort of sensible thing, but she feels like if she doesn't do it now, she's going to miss that opportunity for life. She's never going to have another chance.
Sure.
She's fitter than she's ever been. She's been working really hard in the last few months, and despite the lack of competitions and internationals, you know, she's always she's such a talent. She's actually quite deceptive. She's got some terrific racket skills. She's just a natural-born badminton player. You know, some people are, and it makes the rest of us furious. there's always been questions about commitment or temperament, and amongst the various other things. But it's absolutely wonderful to see Kirby now playing in the Sudirman Cup.
Yes, and so Riley there of Mauritius, our umpire, and Latif Jauhari of Indonesian service judge.
Level. Play.
Oh, great start there.
She's deceptive, and the Danes will find it impossible to prepare for this because you're not going to find a great deal about Kirby Nanon. More than in the case right now. Look out for Kirby's forehand net spin. It's frighteningly good.
Kersfeldt beats her compatriot Lina Kristoffersen, who we're going to see later on in the women's doubles and the quarterfinals of the European Championships. And then someone well known to us in the final, Kirsty Gilmore.
Yeah, I watched both matches and I was commentating on both of those. Kristoffersen bottled it, essentially. She almost looks a bit intimidated about her slightly older and sort of sparring partner, training partner, who she's probably always played just behind and looked up to. In my opinion, in the last 2 years, I would have said Kristoffersen's the better player, but there's a certain amount of grit, determination, and Kersfeldt seems to be playing better than I think I've ever seen her play now. So really big credit to Kersfeldt. And Kirsty Gilmore was injured. She's been injured for ages. She was struggling with that bad back. She slept on the floor all week at the Europeans on the bedroom, the hard floor, because her back's been that bad. And
did well to get to a final then.
It did really well, but you could see
struggling.
She was just worrying about it, and therefore wasn't playing free-flowing. She's very quick, isn't she, Kirsty? Very explosive. And she wasn't quite on that kind of form that you'd want her to be on, and I think mentally she struggled a bit because of the bad back. She was worried about it.
A couple of points gone long there for Kirsty Nan. She asks for a little wipe down. 5 points in, 6 points in, and umpire's not having it.
Yes, good slice from Kersfeldt to set up the kill up in that.
Kirby played at the Portugal International Championships out in the second, and the qualification. That's it. Had an awful lot of momentum behind her.
Just to stay calm here, Kirby. She needs to just keep her cool. There's been a few errors out wide.
So just 3 tournaments, so just looking at how much she has played, and what kind of exposure she's got, and then you compare that with Kersfeldt, who got to the final of the Swiss Open already, second round of Thai Masters, opening round of All England, German and All Your Masters, so yeah, she's played a fair bit of badminton.
She understandably looks a bit nervous out there, Kirby. It's by far the biggest stage she will have ever played on. I asked her this morning, if we didn't know at the time because the match lineup wasn't announced till about 1 o'clock today, local time. And it was a few hours before that, and I said, it'll be Kersfeldt or Kristoffersen, you're looking forward to either a bit more or whatever. She actually just said, look, I don't know how I'm going to handle this because you're playing for your nation for one. It's not just you out there. You're playing for your team. And she's never played at this kind of level. And my simple advice was that it's just a game of badminton.
That's good.
Just forget the rest and enjoy it.
I think, as you pointed out in the mixed doubles at the start of the day, the pressure's not on you. The pressure's on them.
Yeah.
on your opponent to go out there and express yourself.
Exactly. Nobody's really expecting too much from you against Toft and Maeland or Lena Kersfeld. I mean, these are well-known worldwide big-name players.
11-2.
Having said that, Kersfeld has cruised this first half of game 1. It's 11-2 at the interval.
You're good to put height on it because she's kind of cutting out the punch clears, isn't she? Yeah? What about yourself? You feeling alright? What's the situation?
Yeah. 20 seconds.
Get some long rallies on your bout, alright? Just for yourself. Yeah, exactly.
11-2. Play.
That's better. The instruction there was to get some rallies going. Play, go out there.
Yeah, she looked nervous in the first half and made a ton of mistakes, which I guess you can understand, you know.
Hide the court, please.
It's almost like the amount of experience she's got on this international stage and competing for her country, it could equate to if she was 17 years old, not 27 years old. But that, of course, you need that experience, that comfort level to be able to go out there and do it. So it's no different from a teenager being out there, really. I like that from George Bevan, though. He kind of put it back on Kirby and said, like, how are you feeling? What do you think's going on? And that's what Kirby needs, because whilst I want to be positive about everything about her, she is potentially the most difficult English player I know to coach. And I've never coached her myself, but I've seen tons of coaches try. She's very introverted and hard to kind of to talk with sometimes. And that was nice to see from both George and from Kirby that there was a conversation going on there about what they can try and do. And a few were tactical manoeuvres on court, and a few were just like mentally, look, get the longer rallies going, keep it in court, let's try and make something happen.
It's interesting, talking to one of our fellow commentators, Steen, who's obviously been coaching at this level.
Well, he was former coach of the national Danish, national Danish team. Head coach, yeah.
He says it's not tactics are one part of it, but you're also therapist, mentor. Sometimes like an au pair. You're looking after so many different aspects of it.
Yeah.
Taking all that into account, and then knowing also each player has her own little idiosyncrasies and how they want to be dealt with as well. There is no one-size-fits-all either.
No, then you throw in things like Callum and Estelle falling apart after that.
Becoming a relationship expert.
And they're a couple, so you've got to deal with that. There's only 2 staff out here. Well, sorry, and the physio, but in terms of coaches that can kind of instruct, and they're badminton coaches. They're not lifestyle or psychological coaches, but you've got to be at times, I suppose. It's a good play again from Kersfeld. Kirby's actually playing pretty well here in defence. Just not quite there physically, but she's only been training at a full-time level for a few months now.
Well,
it's going to take some time before she really settles in.
It's 3-all since the interval. Much, much better in that sense, right? Kirby Nunn's perspective.
Absolutely.
The idea was right.
Yeah. 15-5.
Big badminton family, of course, as well. Their older brother, Henley, is
15.
Still high in the English rankings. I think he's at number 5 in men's singles, not that far behind Nadeem Dalvi, but he's 30 now, so.
Service over.
6-15.
Nice and relaxed in the...
Yeah, you don't often see Danish coaches that relaxed, do you? Enjoying themselves.
England challengers.
It's a shout there from Kirby Nunn.
I wonder how many times Kirby's had the opportunity in her badminton career to make a challenge.
It's a very good point.
You wouldn't have got that at the Polish International or whatever you mentioned she was involved in.
This might be one of the very, very few, actually.
Maybe the European team champs, but possibly not.
Challenge unsuccessful.
That was about as tight as it gets.
Remaining. Service over. 16-6. Play.
Good play from Kersfeld.
17.
Like two boxers just counter-punching for a moment.
11-point lead now that she has. Been a lot of errors, hasn't there, from her?
Yes. Yeah, there's been a lot.
Service over.
A little bit of emotion
18.
from Kirby Nanchon. She wins that rally. It's a good sign. She's obviously very nervous and playing very tight. Obviously, it's going to take a lot for Kirby Nan to challenge Kersfeld, but she's got the technical abilities to do it, certainly. There's obvious questions about her physicality right now, but she looks in good shape as well. So it's just the mental game that we need to sort out. And if she can find some confidence, find a rhythm, keep the shot length court, it could be a good game here.
So this first game is
over. 19.
almost done, really, from Kersfeld's perspective.
Game point 8.
Oh, nice. It's a lovely finish from Kersfeld.
Great rally, yeah, from the Dane.
First game won by Denmark, 21.
It's a comfortable first game for Kersfeld. Error-strewn, I'm afraid, for Kirby Nunn. And it's 21-8 to the Dane in game one.
You'll get chances up in the net because you're so fast to get there. But right now we're not playing confidently. All right, so at the beginning, believe you're going to take charge. And let's make sure we find the length. It takes such work in the rear corners to get the length and to find that sort of slice that makes them move. It takes real work. But if you invest that, and play like you're in charge, all right, there's a chance that she's going to finish.
Newly. Second game, love all, play. One, love.
Kirby's got to be a little bit careful when she's in defence as well. I know she's making errors under pressure. And whilst going for that big high lift, I understand it, but Kersfeldt's now getting ready for that. And with that sort of 1-2 combination, it's not really having the desired effect for the English. That's more like it. Just at times, mix it up. It's hard when you've been missing the court quite a lot, I suppose. But
that was off the netboard, and a quick apology from Kersfeldt, who's already up by 3.
Service over, 4-1.
Can't get much better return of serve than that.
Oh, well done again there, Kersfeldt.
5-1.
Was having an even better start now in this game than the previous one.
She's really worked hard, Kersfeldt, on her footwork and sort of positioning, because it was never really one of the strengths of her game, in my opinion. That movement, particularly sort of in defence and getting out of corners. To make whatever changes it's taken at the latter stage of her career, it must be so difficult. You learn that stuff when you're a junior, and it becomes pattern, it becomes muscle memory. But then play 10 years or more on the tour, even longer, 15 years, and then find a way to make those kind of changes. It takes some real commitment.
Not easy, you're right.
6. Service over, 7-2.
To give you an idea, and also, you know, in accordance with what Bobby is saying, this is the highest ranked player that Kirby Nunn has ever been up against.
8-2.
And the golf is showing.
Yeah, I mean, what? It was only about 1,100 places between them.
Yeah.
Service over, 3.
Which, as we said earlier,
but it's a development tournament for
Correct.
the English as well.
It's okay.
I mean,
Play on.
and particularly this player is coming out for the experience. You know, like she's not mid-teens now. Kirby's 27, and she's got that one chance. It's going to be about the next couple of years to see what happens, because she has got the potential. We've seen rallies where she looks like a decent badminton
Service
player.
over.
Here.
9-3.
It's just putting it all together, and that consistency will come with various things. You know, when your attack starts getting through, when you start being able to cover the court better and quicker, and most importantly, that experience, that comfort level of being out there in a stage like this against a big opponent. I mean, she's playing the European champion, continental champion. That's not somebody currently on Kirby's level.
Yeah. 4-9.
Correct.
That is wonderful.
5-9.
The task.
There she is. There she is. All right, let's go.
The task here for Kirby is, it's not, I know it sounds crazy, it's not to win the match. Winning the match is almost irrelevant,
right?
Which sounds a bit mad, because I know we're at the Sudirman Cup, I know every point counts and all of that stuff, but personally, for the player and for the coaches, they won't even talked about winning this match. They would have talked about what Kirby is here for.
What they can work on, right?
Yeah, what is she here to achieve? What is she here to learn? What can she gain from performing in this kind of arena against one of the best European players there are?
Well, we go into the interval here of the second game. Kersfeld in a very commanding position. It has been an improvement for Kirby Nunn compared to where she was in the last interval, but she was already trailing by a game and 6 points.
A little bit aggressive from the rear instead of the slow shot. She's just stepping in early on the slow shot. So I think you set us up to begin. Okay, so yeah, it's because instead of using it slow one, just yeah. But look, there's nothing to do. Just go out there and make sure you do the right speed the way you know you can. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 11-5. Play. Service over. 6-11.
Good serve, deceptive.
7-11.
Nicely done.
Service over. 12-7.
Emphatic there from Kersfeld.
Yeah, she's just in that zone lately at badminton where she knows the instinct's there. As soon as you've got your opponent under a bit of pressure, particularly in the backhand rear corner, you've got to push forwards and sort of expect that shot, and she's hunting.
13-7.
Turn of serve. Good rally from Kirby, but it was out in the end.
Like the idea of it.
gritty from Kersfeld just to keep going.
7 points now.
Thank you.
It's the biggest lead she's had in this second game.
Thank you.
Kersfeld.
$14-7. Service over. 8-14.
Be interesting to see who's selected as well, Bobby, for that final match, India versus England.
Yeah,
we
really
are
well.
commentating on. Looking forward to that. That would be quite the contest. So India looking pretty decent at the moment today.
It's that forehand I was talking about. First time I've seen it.
Double thumbs up there for the coach.
Yeah, deceptive and good quality.
Nice to say you've left the European champion rooted to the spot.
I just want to see, I mean, like I said earlier, when I said winning's irrelevant, obviously I don't, it'd be great for the country, it'd be great for England to win. They're putting their best effort in to win, but it's more like they're looking for incremental wins here. They're looking for a process. They're looking for Kirby to put A, B and C together to get herself within a chance of then winning a game of badminton.
Right.
So it's the things that she needs to do to kind of get there. If she can get Kersfeld rattled, if she can sort of play a few nice shots and win some rallies, great. She's a very capable player. She's a very talented player. But the job is to think, right, in 6 months' time, where do we want to be as a country? Where does Kirby want to be? Where does England want her to be? To go out there and start being able to perform at the international challenge series level, and then at the World Tour, and then, you know, hopefully further.
Look, she's already got to double points in this second game. It's been an improvement. We're looking at little steps.
Good pick up from Nan.
Service over. 16-10. Quickly, quick toweling only. Thank you.
You know, we talk about Nadine Dalvi or Harry Huang on Thursday up against a Pranoy or a Lakshya Sen. Even though India are not at full strength, this is what they've got.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
You know.
PV Sindhu, who's not been playing fantastically well, but that's who they've got.
Yeah,
we've seen
it's a tough group for England. Any group is going to be a tough group for this English team.
Grasto and Kapila just won earlier.
Yes,
so,
beating Gloria Wijaya and
Kushayanto. So,
little debate with Kersfeld as to the score.
17-10.
She's on it. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, good block, wasn't it?
Service over. 11-17.
It's been a very professional performance today from Kersfeld.
Service over. 18-11.
Well, short.
You wish to challenge?
Ooh.
I
think the umpire was asking that question before Kersfeld even put a hand up initially, as if to say, that's out, but would you like to challenge this? Because maybe
he couldn't see it himself.
Or maybe he's not quite sure now of the call he made, because he called that, I think. I don't think there was a line judge that called that.
It wasn't as if she kind of half put her hand up and he was trying to clarify that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd say Rally. It's well short, yeah, that's what I thought. It looked.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
For a challenge that she didn't.
She was going to anyway, I think.
Was she? Okay, I didn't see it.
I think she was on the way to putting her hand in the air, but he already said, would you like to challenge this?
Well, she's in a pretty dominant position, so I guess she's not going to be too fussed about that. 2 points away from.
Technically, she should have had a free challenge then.
Yeah, because
she didn't challenge it. He asked her.
Yeah.
She's offering her.
Correct.
It's like a freebie, isn't it? It should be.
It's almost like an unsighted. Yeah.
Oh, shot from Kirby.
Yeah.
Nice punch clear.
Service over, 30, 19.
It's been a big improvement in this second game for her.
A lot less errors. It wasn't. Oh well, I say that. She has missed the back line quite a few times still, but even then, there's been less errors in the second than the first. And if we take all of those mistakes out, we might have seen a lot more competitive match. Don't get me wrong, she was never going to beat Kersfeld today, but she has shown us signs of her potential.
So that first match point wrapped up quickly. Lena Heumark, Kersfeld with a very straightforward win here against Kirby-Nan Nguyen, who found the going tough but improved in the second game on her comeback trail.
Like our Thomas Daumgard, the coach, was in the box with the players well before the match had finished. You know, so relaxed. Very big smile from Kersfeld, and why not? She's had a decent little time on court there.
It's been a good few weeks for her, hasn't it?
And credit to Kirby-Nan as well. You know, I'm hoping to see her stick with it and keep improving, and that we'll see her again and again for England.
Kersfeld had a tight match against PV Sindhu, and this was in stark contrast to today, where she had it very easily against Kirby-Nan. 21-8, 21-13, did it in 32 minutes. It's men's doubles next. Again, another massive clash here for England. Rory Easton and Alex Green. Huge ask against Kim Astrup and Anders Skyrup Rasmussen. This is something you see very commonly in China. Skyscrapers and buildings all lit up. It's quite magnificent. And that includes as well where we are at the Fenghuang Gymnasium, which also has the side of it beautifully lit up at night. I'll tell you who else is lighting up right now. That's the Danes. They are cruising here against England. They've won the tie. That's something they've done on 6 out of the 7 occasions they've met. And it's now time for the men's doubles. We have to play all 5 matches regardless. Kim Astrup and Anders Skarup Rasmussen of Denmark will play England's Rory Easton and Alex Green. Someone very close to Team England. With me here in the commentary position, Bobby Griffin, who's been watching on with keen interest. What about this one then, Bobby?
It's tricky, isn't it? The way you say that makes me feel like I ought to know loads and loads about the lads, Rory and Alex. Of course I know a little bit, but we spend so much time on the World Tour, I actually know tons more about Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen. Again, development match. I don't know what else to say. If you want me to be brutally honest, we're probably going to be looking at the quickest match on court today. The gulf in class, in performance levels, in experience, in history, in whatever measure you want to use, is vast in this one. I mean, world number 1 pair, Astrup and Rasmussen, or at least floating around there still. I think they're still at world number 1. Winners of the World Tour finals. I mean, the lads, Alex and Rory, need to go out there, enjoy themselves, throw everything out on the table, take a load of risks, and have a brilliant time. You know, let's see if that wins some rallies. There's not really a lot else to say. It's very difficult.
Well, I can tell you that this is their first meeting as well. Just to add to everything that you've mentioned there. Were you surprised that they've now played 2 in a row? Because they played in the first match, the first tie against India, and won very comfortably, I should say, against Hariharan Amsakarunan and Ruben Kumar Reti Sabapati.
Oh, sorry, Kim and Anis.
Yeah. Sorry, yes, I should have been clear.
I thought you were talking about Rory.
Yeah, 21-7, 21-4 they won in just 21 minutes.
I spoke to Kim Astrup that night, actually. He's in the hotel with us, and I was asking, because the European Championships a couple of weeks ago, they lost to their teammates in the quarters or the semis, and it was, I think embarrassing is probably a strong word. They was half-hearted. They didn't look like they were there. Didn't look like they were that bothered, and I wasn't sure about the fitness levels or how strong Rasmussen's elbow is now, because he took some time off with that injury recently. And I just thought, well, they're not trying here, and that was at the Euros, and it was only a few weeks ago. So I didn't know if they were fully on it this week, and spoke to Kim Astrup, and he might have just been giving me the whole media answer. I don't know, but it sounds like they're back, and they're back on form, and I'm delighted to see that.
They are like a red wine, aren't they? 33 and 36. Well, number 1 pairing. We'll come back to their achievements as we see the big man here, Rory Easton, who's almost 2 meters tall, 197. His highest ranking is 51 with Zach Russ, but currently at 57. Won the finalists at the Polish Open with this man here, Alex Green.
I want to see Alex Green today really challenge Kim Astrup at the net. I want to see him take him on and try and cut those interceptions out.
Ready to play.
I want to see if Rory can come out with some of those slightly unorthodox wild shots that actually looks really special at times. And just basically if Alex and Rory can kind of have a good game, just, you know, if Alex Green has a good game, Rory's got a chance to start pulling a few strings and making something happen, and that's the best Rob Golding, the coach there, can hope for.
Well, they played a former world #1 pair the other day in Fajar Alfan and Mohamed Rianardianto and lost 11-21, 11-21. This is an even bigger ask, you would imagine. Victor Wong, Hong Kong, China, our umpire. And that down there is the service judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, England, represented by Rory Easton and Alice Green. And on my left, Denmark, represented by Kim Astrup and Anders Garup Rasmussen. Denmark to serve, Kim Astrup to Rory Easton. Level, play.
Yeah, so
one love.
They put them back-to-back matches, which I thought was interesting. And they've got Indonesia to come as well. The Danes I'm talking about.
Yes.
Service over.
Yeah, I'm not so. I mean,
all.
They're the established pairing, and with Rasmus Kjær's partner, Fredrik Søgaard, getting that injury at the Europeans recently. I don't even think he's here.
Service over.
You know, they'd have to mix up the pairings elsewhere to make it happen. So I can't see them doing anything but keeping Kim and Annis on court all week for every meeting.
Well,
these two are
a
real entertaining pair when they're in full flow. And yeah, I mean, age-defying in a way, you know, a bit like how the daddies were in their early to mid-30s.
The difference was Ahsan and Setiawan from Indonesia were brilliant throughout their careers, even when they were young.
That's true. That's true.
Setiawan, you know, did it with Kido and other partners, and you know, winning world Olympics medals and stuff like that. Ahsan similar, you know, world medals with all round, just brilliant. But these two,
how has it happened this way?
Better and better.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't until really they were
that world champs, was it? Do you think?
23? Yeah, 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, where they actually peaked, or started to peak, and have continued to peak. They've been lucky in a way that there hasn't really been an established super pairing.
It's kind of seesaw,
from around the rest of the world. If you look back in terms of, I don't know, whether you want to call it 5-year blocks or something, pick any measure. But if I think back to the pairs, I'm a men's doubles fan, that's my favourite event, the event I played.
Right.
I think back to who my favourite players are. You look back at China's Fu Haifeng and Kai Yun, you look at Lee Yong-dae and any of his partners, Yoon Sung for Korea. They almost dominated, and if they didn't dominate, they lost a few. They were still top ranked, top 2, top 3, and they were still consistently winning medals at top of, you know, top tournaments, whether it was a Super Series Premier or World Tour, whatever, or majors. And if they didn't win this one, they might win next one. Recently,
it's just
for 18 months, 2 years,
it's gone around, isn't it?
It's just going around in circles, and anybody from the top 15 pairs in the world rankings can win any event.
But doesn't that make it fascinating for you?
Well, what's happened to Ranky Reddy and Shetty? I mean, I know they're injured now, but what happened to them 6 months ago? They just fell off, and they were winning stuff. Alfie and Ardianto, we talked about earlier in the week, for a little while, they were winning everything. Liang Wei Kang and Wang Chan were winning everything. They've just fallen away again.
Kang and Xiu.
Yeah.
World champs not too long ago.
You know, these Malaysian pairs winning crazy medals, completely not unseeded, but out of the blue. There's just no dominant pair. And these two, Astrup and Rasmussen, have just gone about their business, being consistent enough, picking up, yes, a few titles, but just getting those big ranking points, or at least quarters, semis, or finals, enough to keep them at world #1, even with Rasmussen's injury lately.
But that makes it all the more intriguing, doesn't it? As to who's
yeah, I mean, they lost
open.
They lost their ranking points from the All England last year now, because this year's would have replaced them and they weren't there. So they are going to feel that pressure soon.
Well,
5-7.
Since you bring all that up, just a quick look at their season. Yeah, the quarterfinals, European champs we talked about, and then 3 first-round exits this year. That's all they've done.
It's unlucky. Loads of pressure on Rory Easton. There is Rasmus Kjær, who we talked about earlier.
Yeah, they've All England, Malaysia Open and India Open, so that's all they've played in on the World Tour, and all 3 first-round exits.
Yeah, sorry, when I said All England, they weren't there. I mean, they just failed miserably.
Yeah.
And you know, that injury was a struggle. They desperately wanted to try and get back for the All England, but it was just too soon, too much too soon. Good smash from Kim Astrup, using the middle.
9-5.
They're acquitting themselves quite well here, the English pair.
Yeah, despite the poor year they've had, really, by their high standards, to keep that ranking, I'll be absolutely delighted by that. That was after they won the World Tour finals.
Good serve. Good rally. Taking Anis Rasmussen out of the game, or trying to at least.
Service over.
Plays a huge palm, that one.
They don't want Anis hitting down from the back. That's the major reason. Got a bit lucky there, but Kim Astrup's less devastating from the back line.
Silver at the World Champs in 2023, bronze in 2021.
That's where Kim Astrup is devastating. They don't want him playing around the forecourt.
Multiple European Championships, and yeah, at the interval here, it's 11-6. Astrup and Rasmussen against Easton and Green.
Remember, when we're under pressure in defence, similar to when we played the Indos, that if we're going to drive, it's got to be hard. Just get that pace through the shuttle and then look to the reset. And when we did survive a lot of pressure there, just pump it in the high one again, give yourself that time to reset. Any soft shot that becomes that shot. I actually think we're returning really well, considering I think that's
Hold to 20 seconds.
Body language is
Hold to 20 seconds.
Start gaining momentum and what we want. Keep putting up that fight.
11-6. Play.
Wee. That was unlucky.
12-6.
Interesting. Rob Golding, the coach there, was talking about the similarity to the match against Indonesia, where if they're going to drive, it's got to be with enough venom, enough pace to whip past the front man. And the importance of body language too. That's a terrific smash from Rory Easton.
8-12.
I like how he went across the body here.
No, not much you can do with that.
over.
Well, they had a very good 2024.
6.
The Danes winning 3 titles: Malaysia Masters, Canada Open, and the World Tour finals. Got to 3 other finals as well: Denmark Arctic Open and Indonesia Masters. And titles to their name
Service over.
on the World Tour.
9-13.
Just to give you a difference, an idea of the contrast. Eastern and Green have, yeah, they did get to the final of the Polish Open, but
it's a much lower tournament, isn't it?
Correct, it's not on the World Tour. And
yes, that was lovely. Good rotation.
10-13.
Alex Green fully committed to getting across to cut that out.
3 points in it.
Yeah. As Easton would have been off balance and taking the shot from mid-court.
The only other tournament they played in on tour was the All Your Masters qualification, so a huge difference in what they're experiencing at the moment, but on court it is tight.
This is good from the English, maintaining the attack. Oh, lovely shot from
wonderful
Castro.
yeah.
Service over.
Good rallies, entertaining.
Quick power only.
Brilliant from Alex Green. That's the kind of play we see so often from Canastra.
Service over. 11-14.
I'll tell you what, this is not.
Oh, this is only now 2 points in it.
This is not the result
12,
I thought we were going
14.
to see. Let's take it all back because I thought this was going to be quick, super quick, and that Green and Easton weren't going to have enough to stand up to the Danes, but they're doing more than that. They've been brilliant so far.
They have. And that is a challenge. That one looked tight. Definitely worth a shout. That's in.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 15-12. Play.
It was there. It's a very smart performance
16,
as well. That's what impresses
12.
me from the English. How many times since, well, the first few points, but since about 3 or 4 love or whatever it was, 4-2, how many smashes have we seen Rasmussen hit through?
Yeah.
He hasn't had the opportunity to. And that's credit to the English for the way their strategy is working.
Service over. 13-16.
They've won 7 of the last 11 points. Easton and Green.
Nice to see the English take a game somewhere. Now that the mixed is over, this is absolutely the England's best chance.
14-16.
Saying that, we don't know what's going to happen in the women's doubles.
I was just about to say that could be the X factor there, because scratch pairing, neither one of them are women's doubles exponents.
Not these days, anyway. Yeah.
Not these days. Yeah. So now Denmark have.
This is clever from the Danish.
Only rolled over England twice in 2001 and 2011, 5-0.
I like this from the Danes. All that momentum we've just seen from the English. The Danes are now like, right, towel down, let's mop the courts, let's just stop all of that momentum right now.
And you brought this up in the last tie that we did together when England played, that they should have probably looked at doing stuff like this.
Yeah, all top players do it. You know, you lose 3 or 4 points against anybody. Singles, doubles, doesn't matter.
Service over.
And
17,
you find a way.
14.
Oh, shoelace needs tying. Or can I have a drink, umpire? Or the floor needs mopping. Or
there's always something.
My fingernail's a bit sore. I need to go and just get it checked. Anything, whatever it takes. You know. It's almost an accepted part of the game.
15-17.
If England win this opening game, I still can't see them getting through the match. I still just think these Kim and Annas have got so much experience and class that they'll give themselves a kick up the backside and find a way to start dictating.
It wasn't all that long ago that England beat Denmark. The only time they've ever beaten them with the Sudirman, that was in 2019, 3-2. Came down to the final match, women's doubles. And England edged them.
19. Pedersen and Ewell.
I shall tell you.
Against, I'm just going to guess, Smith and Birch.
Yeah, that part I can tell you is correct.
Service over. 16-18.
Just 2 points in this again.
Oh. Wow. Brilliant defense from the English pair. This is exactly the performance English fans will be hoping to have seen. They're tactically very astute. That strategy's working, trying to keep Kim Astrup around the back or keep that preferred formation from the Danes, and they're playing with so much bravery as well.
Haven't seen as much of that from Rasmussen today, but we did finally.
19-17.
Frøygaard and Thiessen.
Oh.
Playing Birch and Smith. Astrup and Rasmussen were there, by the way. Played Ellis and Langridge, our fellow commentator. Yeah. And they made it 2-all on that day.
19.
That was also here in China.
Is that the one where everything went to 3?
Everything went to 3. Absolutely right.
I remember.
Service over. 20. Game point. 18.
There are game points here, but by the way, this has been the closest match we've had by some way today. The closest game, I should say.
Good serve.
Game.
Clever change up from
First game won by
Rasmussen.
Denmark. 21.
That was very good performance from Easton and Green, but they came just short against Astrup and Rasmussen, who win it 21-18.
Altså, vi kører ved, altså, der er nogle flere ting i det. I starten, der skiller vi mad med at få spillet foran, få spillet over.
Ja.
Så går vi ind og udfordrer lidt i det, og nogle gange, og så starten er det egentlig OK, der vil. Men når chancen den er væk, når de så trykker tilbage igen, og den forsvinder, så bliver vi ved med at trykke. Det er sgu OK, vi trykker på den første. Ja. Men når chancen så dør, så bliver vi nødt til at spille den af. Den form,
Det er godt løb, du har en lang kryds.
Ja, men,
det er helt sat på.
Ja, men vi står og kigger badminton. Ja. Din overspilning nede i hjørnet, kongeoverspilning, så står vi 2 mand og kigger på en hænger herude og får lov at spille den foran her.
Ja.
Ikke? Reager nu på tingene, lad være med at gå ind og battle med dem. Hvis vi lægger ovenpå, så det der standard.
Done really well, really well. Keep on it. Good though. We also gave him a very little cheap on his last 4, and he's really stay on that. Might do the same thing.
Call to 20 seconds. Call to 20 seconds. Second game. Low ball. Play.
So second game here now. Sean Rasmussen really did not have it all their way. Far from it. Easton and Green played superbly. Maybe just getting in each other's way there.
1 more.
These two have been playing together not all that long, from just about over a year now, Easton and Green. And oh, that's it. Oh, I thought that was staying in, but it's not. It's just out.
2,
How do you contrast that with the Danes who've been together since 2011? Amazing.
14 years. It's so long time, isn't it?
It is. And as you said, it's just got better as the years go by.
It's interesting how animated Thomas Stangar was during that interval with the Danes.
2-all.
Contrast to how he looked at the end of the
Right,
women's singles,
yeah,
where he was just
point.
almost having a party with the players in the box. He was so relaxed. It seems they've realised they've got a bit of a game on their hands here.
Yeah.
Oh,
well done.
Did well, didn't he, to get out of the way.
Great evasive manoeuvres.
3-2.
Do you think it was a guys switch on now? Let's really get this going.
Oh, round the back from Kim Astrup. Yeah, probably.
It's over.
It's hard without our fellow Dane commentator Steen over there. He's on court 1 right now. He could decipher it all for us, but there was definitely some talk of strategies and shots and manoeuvres in there, but I would say that they've got to pick up and be smart about this.
Alex? Yes.
Credit to the coaching staff here, though, for England and how Green and Easton are playing, because they've got it spot on. It's a clear strategy, it's working, and that's taken some preparation, some planning. Oi! And Alex Green, so far today, has been a real threat in the forecourt. Unlucky there's a good drive from Rasmussen.
It doesn't get any better than playing the #1 ranked opposition in your discipline, and it's hey, it's something to say. We only lost by 3. Can you keep that going?
Yeah, they were 19-18, weren't they, in the first?
7.
It's a pretty impressive place to be. That was nice though from Kim. They needed that as Kim and Annis were starting to run away with it, weren't they? With I think probably 5 out of the last 6 points.
Yeah.
Two good shots there from Rory Easton. First one just put Rasmussen in a really awkward position.
Correct.
Six, 8.
I'll tell you what's interesting, and you've talked about just how good they've been in the last few years. Astrup and Rasmussen.
Wow.
Oh, nicely done. And that's meat and drink for Rasmussen.
Yeah.
When they win the first game in their careers, 68% of the time they go on and win. If you do it from the last 3 years, they win almost 80% of their matches after taking the first game. That just shows the massive, huge uptick for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I imagine a lot of those are
7, 9.
not just winning in 3, but refusing to allow it to get to a third.
Yeah.
Pressure from the English pair.
Service over. 10, 7.
It's nice work from Kim Astrup.
Well,
bit of confusion on all sides of the court. Oh, great touch.
Well, since you asked about winning in straight games,
8,
yeah, career-wise, 72% of the time they win in straight games, which is very good. And in the last 3 years, that goes up to 81%.
Almost a 10% increase.
Yeah.
Strange, isn't it? Now they're both in their 30s.
Service
36, Rasmussen.
Service over.
Well, that's not the way you want to give a point so cheaply. Astrup and Rasmussen up by 3 at the interval, having already won the first game.
I feel like we're going out a little bit more. We just like need to be like a bit more buildy with our red court. Like,
so we go a bit more buildy, or we go a bit flatter and harder, so that we try and get that game back to flat. And
I think we should be pressing when we like
100%
feel like they're going to take, but when we're like on the back line, it's like trying to like get into that situation with Anglo.
It could just be a slice to middle. It could just be a slice to middle. But anything above face around is still working. Even at the shot, to be honest with you, we're actually dominating that area. We need to get it there when they start opening up on us. But Reds is definitely trying to get softer now.
Okay. 11-8. Play.
Now, can the Danes push on from here? Will the English going to play catch-up again like they did in the previous game?
Good rush from Ralph Lewin, he just puts off Alex Green there.
13-9.
They've got a little bit of fear factor about Alex Green and the way he's playing. Yes, I mean, Easton's been playing well as well, don't get me wrong. Creating stuff in the back, hitting hard down and whatever, but they're used to that. But today, Alex Green has been as much of a threat in and around the mid-court and forecourt as Gymnasium has, and in Europe at least, don't see that all that often.
Couple of good points for England since the interval.
10-13.
Apology as Alex Green targets Kim Astrup. Forward to make service mistakes. It was one just before the break, I think, wasn't it?
Second now in the last few points. Hugely frustrating.
Well, that looks close. Yeah, I expected a challenge there. I thought the Danes were a little bit late to react. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually just missed the back line.
A lot further out than we thought.
15-10.
Well, yeah, they called it in. That's what I mean. It didn't look didn't look totally clean. Good setup by Alex Green. Rory Easton, he's got that big wingspan.
11-15.
There's a few times they've tried to sort of drive the shuttle back in defence past Easton, but he's massive. He just gets his arm to it somehow. This time, pretty easy for him.
Service over. 16-11.
Yep, it is well out, well left. Not allowing the Danes to run away too far. This is sort of where we were in the previous game, and then they mounted a decent fight back, the English. They didn't allow the Danes to get any kind of rhythm. I think The gap here is a bit too big.
They kept Astrup away from the net as well in the opening game, really, really well. This one's been a little bit less effective in this game.
Wow, that looks pretty convincingly out.
It's another one of those where it's a relift. He's lifted it loads of time. Opponent's left it, which gives you a clue it's probably going long. And then the line judge has called it out. Why would you challenge it?
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
You've really got to be confident that it's him to challenge a lift or a clear.
Wow, this gets to you, huh?
It's just stupidity. I don't understand it. The other option is your opponents are on a bit of a run and you want to break the momentum. I'll use a challenge just to slow it down.
There's a strategic element to it sometimes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case.
No.
Uh-oh.
That's good.
Gone wide, hasn't he?
No, that was good.
Service over.
Well played. That was a really well played shot then from if this is in. Yeah, outside the line. Yeah, they played that well. They've already scored more aggregate points, the English pair, than any other of England's representatives today. It's been a very decent performance from them. Only 2 points away from wrapping this up now, the Danes. Seven match points. Look, picking it up quickly, wants to get on with it, keep this momentum carrying.
What a
way to finish.
Fantastic from Rasmussen. Well, very spirited first game from the English pair. They came up short in the second, though they have scored more points than anyone else has today for England overall.
Bit of experience being shown in the second there, not just the ability to find a way to win, but I like the way they broke the English momentum when they needed to. I like the way they sped back up when they were on a run themselves, and you know, they were just showing their class in the end. But credit to Rory and Alex, they were superb in the first, especially. And it's the one result before the match started, before the tie started, I thought would be the most comfortable for Denmark. It's the exact opposite, which is credit to Rory Easton and Alex Green. It's probably the best I've seen them play, actually. It's just the level of opponents today.
That's helped raise their game, right, though?
Exactly. Well, yeah, that would have helped.
So, Kim Astrup and Anders Skarp Rasmussen have beaten England's Rory Easton and Alex Green 21-18, 21-13. It's taken them 37 minutes to do it. Our last match of the evening, Alexandra Boye and Lina Kristoffersen of Denmark will play England's Abigail Harris and Annie Leno in women's doubles. The action is becoming thick and fast here at the Xiamen Fenghuang Gymnasium in the TotalEnergies BWF Sudirman Cup Finals 2025, the Mixed Team World Championships. Now we're into our last match of the tie between Denmark and England. Denmark now 4-0 with the final match to come, and England looking to prevent a clean sweep. It's only happened twice before, in 2001 and 2011. On two other occasions, in 2003 and 2015, Denmark won it 4-1. That's what the English are hoping to at least try and get one back. They had the opportunity to do it the other day against Indonesia and came within a few points of doing it, frustratingly. Can these two here try and do it? Abigail Harris and Annie Lado of England, when they take on Denmark's Alexandra Boye and Lina Kristoffersen, who are not women's doubles exponents. And that, I think, just make this one, who knows? The other two obviously are doubles.
It's like we're in a casino. Anything can happen here. It's like a game of roulette. Kristoffersen doesn't play doubles.
Yeah,
it's bizarre. I suspect that they've wanted Lina Kersfeldt to play the singles because she's in the zone right now. She's obviously playing well, and they want to give her a lot more court time. And you know, Denmark will need her at her best when it matters against a tougher nation. They also want to have Kristoffersen ready for playing games. So I think they've decided to put her out there to get used to the conditions, the atmosphere, the courts, all of that stuff. Alex Boye hasn't really played women's doubles for years. I mean, she used to play quite a bit with Mette Poulsen. They got to top 30 in the world. But that's back like 3-4 years ago. She's been focused completely on mixed with a couple of partners since then. But the thing is that these two don't play together very much.
No.
Harris and Lado. Abby Harris normally plays with Lizzie Tolman, who's they're sort of resting because she's got a bit of a niggling injury. And Annie Lado plays with Sean Kelly normally.
Alexandra, I have red and black.
First meeting between the pair, obviously.
The other last thing is the best women's doubles player, in my opinion, is sat in the supporters box right now. Estelle Van Leeuwen.
Right.
It's close. It's a close call, but
and she's been purely mixed this time, right?
Yeah. And there was talk earlier in the week amongst the England camp as to whether Estelle might actually jump on court and play women's doubles at some point as well. But we might see that tomorrow, where it matters. If you know, England are going to try and beat India and try and not finish bottom of the group.
Correct.
And I think there's pride at stake, and they want to win that. And perhaps if Estelle's feeling fresh, she might get the call up, or might, you know, be picked. It's 4-0. England, you know, weren't likely to get on top of Denmark anyway. So I think they'll let this one go out.
Well, this is Alexandra Boye, who's normally a mixed doubles player. 25 years of age, 173 centimeters tall. Her highest ranking, as you can see there, 29th Mette Poulsen. That was achieved in March of 2021, so 4 years ago. Lina Kristoffersen is a singles player, very much so as well. European Championships in 2021, she got a silver. European Junior Champion in 2018. She's 25 years of age, 176 centimeters tall. She's won, she has not yet to win on the HSBC BWF World Tour, with 4 runner-up places, the last being in Guwahati in 2023. She's actually in the mid-30s right now, 39th in the world. This is Abigail Harris, who's 23 and is a regular doubles player, as you mentioned there. She's won a title last the Hungarian International with Lizzie Tolman. The last time she and Annie Lado won a title together was in 2023, the Iceland International. Year-old from Winchester, Annie Lado, 169 centimeters tall. They first started playing together in 2018 in the juniors, and then after a 3-year break, started playing again in 2022.
Ready to play.
And then that sort of ended midway through last year before they've been paired together here. Interesting to see that last time Nina Kristoffersen played any kind of women's doubles was back at the World Junior Championships when she...
Is that with Freya Round?
That was with Emily Mayland, actually.
Yes.
She has played Freya Round. They got to the semis of the Dutch Junior Cup in 2017. But yeah, it's been a while. Latif Johari of Indonesia is our umpire, Yasan Sairali, the service judge. As for Boya, actually, she has been playing in the European Mixed Team Championships. She played a match.
Yeah,
in the
she did.
Yeah.
She played, hang on, I'm trying to remember. It might have been Frugard.
It was...
Oh, no, Antonisson.
Antonisson.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the right, Abigail Harris.
Yeah, she's also played in Uber Cups as well, but yeah, you're right, she doesn't do this very often.
And on my left, Denmark, represented by Lina Kristoffersen and Alexandra.
The last time she played in
England
World Tour event was at the French Open in 2022 with Mayland.
Level.
Thought it was interesting.
Play.
So scratch pairings. Anything could happen here.
Silva, one left.
One a singles player, the other a mixed doubles player.
One.
And they've been put together, but let's see. And Antonisson is here as well, but as you said, maybe just get some minutes in the legs for Kristoffersen.
Yeah. Why is it Kristoffersen when it's not Kristoffersen? If your name is Christopher, I wouldn't call you Christopher, would I?
We'll go with Kristoffersen then, shall we? Oh, well, I'll wait till...
We'll upset the Danes if we do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw Abigail Harris in action with the first match, Liz Tolman. They were hammered really by Suman Pratiwi, 8-21, 13-21.
Superb Indonesians work. The other thing that Kristoffersen adds to this is a fresh pair of legs and obviously she's superb at covering the court. You would expect that as a women's singles player. A good women's singles player. Which perhaps Natasja Antonisson wasn't doing as well as she might have done earlier in the week.
And the only point that India got against Denmark was in women's doubles. And that was the day when Boya was with Antonisson.
Yes, yes.
Crasto and Mishra.
On Sunday.
Yeah, won that in 3. Oh, sorry, in straight games, I should say, excuse me.
Yeah, certainly something needed to change there. And Antonisson was also in the European Championships final with Mara Frugard, and they were dispatched by the Stoevas, made to look very average. Which surprised me because I actually called it earlier in that week saying I think they'll get to the final, and lots of people were debating with me saying the French were going to, you know, Margot Lambert, but she wasn't playing with Antran, and although Lambert was trying to defend that title from the previous time, I'd seen Frugard and Antonisson play at the Mixed Team Championships together, and it looked really threatening.
3-5.
But yeah, Steffi and Gabi Stoeva were excellent once again in the final in their defensive long rally style.
It's interesting, Denmark have hit the quarterfinals 5 times in a row in the Sudirman. They haven't got the 2 strong singles players here, but I'll be interested to see what happens. Of course, there's going to be a redraw, isn't there?
Great shot from Abby Harris.
5-all.
Yes. Yes, I think.
Yeah, great shot, like you said.
A1 and D1, which is the top 2 seeds, so China and Indonesia, will stay in the opposite half of the draw, whatever happens. If they win their groups, of course. Which really I like to see in this one, because Denmark, Indonesia could be quite interesting. But otherwise, I think everything gets redrawn, yeah.
6-5.
Hit the semis back in 2013.
But don't the group winners avoid the other group winners?
Yeah.
But as to which runner-up you'll play in the quarters, that's all redrawn, yeah. That's normally how it works.
Silva, 6-7.
Well, I think the English have done really well here, because it was a fantastic start for Boye and Kristoffersen. And all of a sudden they just turned it on.
As the match progresses, though, there's going to be more opportunities for things to unravel. And whilst they don't play together all that much, they have played together a few times, the English pair. Plus they are level doubles players. And I think if they can find the gaps, they will create a lot of confusion between Boye and Kristoffersen. It's just trying to work out how to do that. Once they can, I think we might see a few times where, for example, they both leave it down the middle, or one rotates and the other one hasn't reacted quick enough, or something like that. There you go, Boye pushes net when the drive from Kristoffersen is going up to Lado, I think it was. And that's just crazy. You know, you leave the whole half of the court open. That's what happens when you don't play level doubles.
Oh, touch there from Harris.
Silva, 9-8.
I think there's a string on. Won the rally though, I believe.
Yeah.
9-all.
That was good. She's got decent smash technique, Annie Lado. And a good finish from Abigail Harris. Just winds up nicely. Really free-flowing shoulder. Just throws it at the shuttle.
Disappointing down the serve.
10-9.
So, Boye and Kristoffersen are in front, but only just 11-9 in this first game.
Especially for Boye, because she's quite strong on the return. Every time we flip her, it's been weak. Make sure when we're attacking, we understand who's got the weaker defence. There's been a few where we've asked who's got the weaker defence. We've gone that forward a few too many times in my opinion.
Just straight middle, because I can just outboard
Yeah.
you.
When we return the serve, I like us to test Kristoffersen's body a bit more. So like, if Boye is serving, press in middle, and if Kristoffersen's serving, just drop it on in and around their body, and then looking for quick racket after it. Okay? Way better than that pace.
Yep.
Really quick.
Play. Silva, 10-11.
I like Easton and Green. Keep them as competitive at the moment, Harris and Lado.
Couple of times, just a little bit flat-footed. And so you rely purely on your arm to reach the shot and your racket then to take over, but getting yourself in good position is job number one.
Serve 11-13.
It's going to be a short serve. She's going to jump straight back onto it. Oh, good serve. I'm surprised because Kristoffersen will lack those kind of doubles reactions. She's not going to attack the serve as well as a natural double player will. And when Kristoffersen's serving, you could just sort of shove the shuttle back at her and you won't get that effective third shot, or you shouldn't as much as you normally would. That was quite funny because she completely sold Abigail Harris with that flick serve.
Wow. Another gimme there. Well, they've been good at keeping themselves in the hunt here.
It's a well-placed smash. They were talking during the break about targeting the body of Kristoffersen. And again,
Too high.
3 or 4 service faults already? Or points directly off serves that they've given away?
A couple of them have been against Kristoffersen. Got to be smarter than that.
Expand on that. The part where you a bit exasperated that it's been against Kristoffersen.
She's less of a threat in return of serve, purely because she's a singles player. She's not going to have that same short, sharp reaction. She's not going to come in looking like forehand and turn it backhand. She's also nearly 6 foot tall. Why flicker? It's a little bit frustrating. Trying desperately not to be an England fan and be a neutral. You know, human nature takes over a little bit. And I want to see England put in a decent performance somewhere against one of these big nations. Not just as an England fan, but just as a badminton fan.
Yeah.
Lost 5-0 to Indonesia. Could have won the mixed. Tough today in the mixed. Tough today in the men's doubles. You know, this is the last chance. And you're playing against a singles player and a mixed doubles player in women's doubles.
So exploit that is what we're saying.
Yeah. Boya earlier pushed the net when she shouldn't have, because she plays a lot of mixed, and that's what she do on a mixed court. Kristoffersen will offer a lot less resistance when she's tied up in the body, which is why if you're going to smash to the body, do it to Kristoffersen, perhaps not as much to Boya.
7 game points now. They've really pulled away all of a sudden.
And lastly, serve and return. Kristoffersen should offer a lot less because she doesn't play much doubles.
Oh, brilliant from Kristoffersen, and 6 points on the trot. Sees the Danes really pull away from their opponents here and win comfortably.
Someone who doesn't play doubles, that was just brilliant. So most players were set up with a backhand grip there, but she's a singles player, just stood there waiting. It was fabulous.
stor forskel på en brugt og en ny bold. Altså spiller den første 10 minutter, spiller den langsomt på bolden. Ja, altså der er ingen tvivl om, at vi ved godt, at vi kan vinde, hvis vi tager farten af dem, så skal vi nok kalde ud af banen. Det ved vi godt. Men jeg synes stadig, det er vigtigt, at du også lige får klappet lidt til kuglerne, så du ved, hvordan du skal ramme ud herinde. Så jeg synes ikke, du har ramt det morgen, som er specielt godt nu. Så jeg vil godt have, at du lige investerer lidt ind i det.
We're not comfortable to flip serve, don't force it. It's just going to give us away cheap points. But we've got to make sure whenever we're in and around the stop zone, we're hitting, crack it up, ready for that next one. That's our advantage here. Yeah, we don't doubles players. Come on.
How much slower is it this way?
Not that much.
Not that much. Like, probably about like that much.
Don't think about it too much. We don't want to be...
No, more because I was getting everything out.
It's okay. Just keep pacing the attack.
Second game, level play.
So into the second game here, Bobby. What? That's someone saying it's terrible, but
I think that was Harris or Lado on court actually, and I think it was the forehand from Lado. Which was agreeable. Sorry, yes, you were going to ask.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, what would they be looking at now? What would they want to be improving on? I mean, I know there were certain errors that were creeping in towards the end of that second game. What else do we want to see from them?
I didn't catch much of what was discussed at the interval. I guess if it was me down there, I'd want to get Alex Boyer moving around the rear court as much as possible because she's been focusing so much on the mixed doubles. Oh, what's going on?
Change of the shuttle, I think it was. If there was an issue there.
3 left.
That her instincts will be to be pushing forwards as much as possible, so you can sort of exploit for you gaps that she'll want to come in and then suddenly she's being pushed over the top. So if I'm going over the top, I'd try and do that to Boyer. I'd still be going at the body of Christopherson a lot more than down to the sides because she's good at getting down low and defending left and right. But on the top, flat, fast around the body, she's not going to be as adept with an actual doubles player. I'm serving short to Christopherson and trying to get all over the net as quickly as possible as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, consistency. I mean, the English have been a little bit erratic. Any mistakes for me, just basic mistakes.
This is a very similar start to where we were in the first game. English took a bit of time to get going.
Pushing back into that mid-court quite hard as well when there are chances. So just lay off. Harris in that previous rally, the backhand went up to Boyer. She could have just played it soft to the net and got the lift. Perhaps that's a strategy because they don't want to be then lifting out to Christopherson later. I don't know. But whatever, those are the things that, as a pair and with your coach, you decide on. When this happens, I'm going to do this. So you and your partner work on that. If it's not working, you've just lost to 13 and you're 5-1 down, 6-1 down. Look, it's not working. Accept that it's not working and start making some changes. There you go.
Oh, that's better, yeah.
A little bit like in front of Christopherson and get your racket ready at the net. Pounce, because she's not going to be, you know, like some of the top mixed doubles players we've been looking at all week. That player shot and they've got their racket up ready straight away to intercept. That's not going to be Christopherson today.
Another one, Bobby. Third, fourth one maybe?
Service fault.
Yeah.
All English as well.
Yep.
not to change. I'm sure it still gives Alex Boyer nightmares. The Danish National Championships final a few years ago against
the contentious one.
Yeah, she was playing with. Oh, that was Mette Poulsen. That's right. And she was playing against Frugard and Tuesen, and ended up in tears a number of times in the match. Tried to retire from the match. Coaches argued to say, no, you shouldn't do that. It's unprofessional.
Because of the calls on the serve?
Basically, there was a service judge that decided.
Long? Yep.
That, I think it was something like the first 6 serves from Boyer and Poulsen in a row and of the match were all faults. And
for being too high.
Yeah, for being too high. And their argument was that I haven't changed my serve. I'm using the serve in training, in matches, in the Olympics, you know, in the World Tour for months, and it doesn't get called. Why are you calling it? And it's a funny one, service judges, because technically I think there are quite a few more faults than we hear about.
Yeah.
But I think as a commentator, it's fair to say, and you know, no disrespect to the BWF, but it would make the game look
10-2.
sort of less exciting, less watchable if every single one of them was called. So 2 or 3 here and there called, and you know, they make an effort then to try and go under. But at the top level, there's a huge advantage from just having that serve an inch or 2 higher and being able to prod it down or drive the serve or flip. I think this line judge, sorry, service judge at the time, you know, took the law to the black and white, to the tee, and was replaced actually in game 2 by another member of staff. Oh, wonderful shot again. Got to watch that from Kristoffersen. She's obviously going to have a good attack.
Very comfortable first half of the second game. A massive lead of 8 points, having already won the first game by the same margin. Boyer Kristoffersen in a good position here.
Alright, she's the less comfortable of the 2. Okay, so if she's in the red court, let's play through on the serve. If she's serving, let's go down at the body. We are getting chances, same when we're attacking. If we attack her first, keep it a little bit longer, okay? And yeah, she slices a lot. Let's just set.
It's just loads of that. Yeah. To get comfortable.
In the first inning, when we came out, you returned serve, you pressed it on the body, and then you finished off the next one. These are the situations we need to get rid of. Okay? If you want to go big court,
1 second. Play.
Now, what looks to be the final part of this match. You thought the last one would be quick. This one could well be the quickest. So really have an uptick here in form.
Should be more comfortable for Lado. Wasn't really in an awkward position. Should be able to defend that. Good block and follow from Kristoffersen. Oh, he looked like a doubles player for a moment there. Just missed the final kill.
14-5. Abigail.
Just been told to hurry things along.
That's great. Nice setup from Alex Boyer.
15-5.
And again, Kristoffersen backed up nicely, pushing forward in the midcourt, which is very easy not to do when your partner's pushing the net. You're looking for the lift sometimes. So credit to Kristoffersen's doubles prowess.
6-15.
9 points. Now the gap.
So unlucky. Good idea.
Sarkoza.
Still too many mistakes from the English pair across the whole match.
Defending here from England, but it's in vain.
17-6.
I know you can't see me, but I'm sat here shaking my head because at the start of the rally, not sure whether it's Harris or Lado, decides to go clear for clear with Kristoffersen. I mean, what tactic is that? She does that for a living.
Yeah.
It's like trying to beat a panda at eating bamboo. You just don't do it.
Well, of all the things you could have picked on,
well, we're in China.
Yeah, it's topical, I guess. Yeah, locational.
Yes. That's lovely. That's the shot she was looking for a few points ago.
7-18.
Little deceptive hold on the backhand side from Harris.
That should be an easy finish there for Boyer.
19-7.
Couple of points away.
Service fault, too high.
Well, this time the first service fault called on the Danes.
19.
Xiamen Sairali's really on the money today, isn't he? On the ball, on the shuttle.
Good slice. They've been beaten by that slice from Kristoffersen
20
all match long.
Match point 8.
So huge 12 match points here.
Nice return. Well, I don't think I know we didn't really know what to expect for this match because it is a bizarre one.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was this.
Right. So this scratch pairing, two players who don't even play women's doubles anymore. One who's barely done it ever. Have done very well here. Boyer and Kristoffersen with one of the most comfortable wins we've had today for Denmark against England.
We have to appreciate that Boyer and Kristoffersen play on the World Tour as pretty much at the highest level there is.
Yeah.
And therefore, their badminton pedigree all round is going to come through. That being said, I'm a little bit disappointed that Lado and Harris didn't sort of take it to them a little bit stronger, with a little bit more of a thought process and a lot more consistency needed.
Smiles all round. It's been like that all day, hasn't it, for Denmark? Will the delighted at the way they've come through this with little concern. There's been some moments for England. In particular, I think Easton and Green look back at a very good first game. Hemming and Van Looyen as well, perhaps, in their first game against Tofton Malund. But here, Alexander Boye and Lina Kristoffersen have beaten Abigail Harris and Annie Lado 21-13, 21-9. It's taken them just 28 minutes to do so, the quickest match today. So, for just the third time in Sudirman Cup history, Denmark have thrashed England a whitewash 5-0. They first did it in 2001, they did it again in 2011, and that means it's now 7 wins in 8 meetings between these two countries in this tournament for Denmark, who have now got 2 wins out of 2. England with 2 whitewashes and looking, hopefully, to avoid that when they play India. That brings us to the end of day 3. Day 4 action, again split into 2 sessions over the 2 courts. Bobby will be here with you in session 1 at 9:30. I'll join you at 5 p.m. We'll see you then.